it just means that you imagine that they're putting a lot of eggs into this basket.
Yeah, for sure. I think not entirely sure what the reason is, I suppose, that they dropped out. You know, I had a bit of a theory that it was to do with focusing in on this tournament. I think that would be quite risky. There's certainly potential. You know, they could have gone along and beaten the rest of the Asia teams. I think they were certainly better than the crop of Asian teams, and particularly Mongolian teams that have ended up there. But enough conjecture, enough chit-chat. Behind the teams, we are, of course, into Inferno here. Envision on that CT side, TYLOO on the T side. Bit of attention in the apartments, but a pretty slow-moving round here so far.
Yeah, very much a change in pace to the series that we had earlier today, which was non-stop action. I think this one's going to have a bit more tactical depth with both of these teams. Having had those recent reps in Europe, they've got a taste of that style of CS, which is a lot more reserved, a lot more tactical. I do think that's something that Call Me Sue is going to be able to bring to Lynn Vision. I think we're already seeing that from all of his experience playing in North America. And meshing of styles. And have a wrap onto the A bomb site. Starry just peeks out and he takes down 2 immediately. Will get punished and removed eventually, but he's done a fantastic job. Zaka just needs to stay alive. The rotations are on their way.
Bomb goes down. It is a notoriously difficult site to retake. But of course, with a lack of smokes, makes it a bit easier for that CT side. So we'll see here. Very trapped in, trying to just play those dangerous headshot angles. Slow moving from the CT side, not really making a lot of noise at all. Time really starting to tick down, so they've got to get a move on. Got to find a couple of kills in the next few seconds. It's not going to happen. I think just this basic time now for JamYoung to work with is going to be enough to win the round out. Oh, it's going to be awfully close. Did he get on in time? It looks very, very close indeed. I don't think he's quite got it, though. And indeed, TYLOO, on that timing, will steal the pistol.
That's rough, because it really felt like they were in a fantastic position for this retake. 4-on-3, they were there really quickly too, right? The rotations came at a really good time, but the lack of kit and just how slow it took them to get going. It felt like they were not being faced early because of the setup of TYLOO. They had 2 players playing very much in the site, and only 1 player coming from long meant there was no real angles to fight down. Saw the player tucked in towards mini pit as well, so just nowhere for these short players to get an early fight. But precious seconds off the clock. TYLOO start with the lead. Lynn Vision will force immediately. So plenty of utility smokes on every player. A stack on B as well, and that's where TYLOO looked ahead.
Could be dangerous. Could be very, very dangerous. It's also a fully bought up stack. Decent nade damage here. I don't like this. I don't like it at all. But we may well get a bloodbath, which is always enjoyable. From our perspective, 5-7's actually go in early. Oh, running out of ammo there. Allows Amelia to get 2. There's the extra player that they were not expecting. Deagle could really take another, but not going to happen. JamYoung lucky to win that frag in midair. 4 HP. However, caught nade in hand. Oh my goodness. Very, very, very close. But JamYoung comes away with 2 massive kills on only 4 HP. That is certainly dicey, but they walked into a stack. So credit to TYLOO to get it over the line.
A nice try from both Amelia, who gets this crazy double up attacker, runs out of ammo, but Call Me Sue, beautiful second shot. It's a nice headshot accuracy with the Deagle, but unfortunately can't get that one bullet off. Any bullet on any part of JamYoung's body might have set up the round to be won. Especially with the low HP on that final player. But TYLOO did it the hard way. They went into the stack, came out ahead, and their reward is now just a lighter by a couple of pistols. JamYoung with the Mac-10 looking to get active. Starry will get a kill with the Deagle. Now you get information. There are 2 players here. Probably don't need to commit into it, although with Starry finding that kill at A, it does get a little spooky.
Trying to play a gamble here. Envision now fully rotating away. And unfortunately, it's going to be V. So they perhaps should have kept the majority of their defense over here, and now with all these smokes coming in, I don't think there's really a chance for them to win the round. They might get a kill on the extremity, something along those lines, but I think actually winning the thing is pretty impossible. Bomb going to go down. You know, you've got an easy 15-20 seconds here before they make it onto the bomb site. So it's kind of all you need when you're just against the pistols. As you can see, they are hunting around looking to try and take some guns. The only unfortunate thing is, you know, you've got a Galil, which they have retrieved, and then you have a Mac-10 at the top of Banana, so there's not really that much point going in for it. They kind of know that, setting up for the exits, as predicted. Might come away with one, might come away with two, but actually going to come away with none, and TYLOO will take 3 in a row.
I like that G's name is GXD.
It's
Big fan
good.
of XD posting.
Maybe back in the day.
It's always fun just to drop it, you know, in the face it all chat.
Yeah. Keep it alive.
Yeah. I think XD's got that real tiltability to it, I find. It's a bit cheeky.
Yeah. I was a big fan of like the lowercase XD.
Yes, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit ironic. Yeah, no. But yeah,
not as in your face as like a question mark or anything.
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure.
Same sort of vibe.
Yeah. Lives up to
Zaka's
the
gonna
G
AWP early
personality,
here.
I think.
And gets the opener.
All right. You know, Zaka is definitely a guy that... Okay, I'll hold the point because we've got some early action here. Westmelon in with another one. So looking good for Lynn Vision on the lead. It looks like we have a bit of downtime, so I'll just throw it in there. But Zaka was, I think, a player, you know, 12 to 18 months ago that a lot of people were looking towards. And when there was this sort of rumor around Starry moving to TYLOO, people thought maybe Zaka would go with him. And they'd have this, you know, Chinese super team under the banner of TYLOO, the classic organization and everything. But he kind of stayed loyal. And I think he's been on and off the AWP as far as I'm aware over the years as well, but really, really one to watch. So it's good to see him on the AWP and finding success pretty early.
Yeah, transition to primary AWP has been interesting to watch, but considering I think the role of the AWP in CS2 does make sense to have a player that can be both exceptional on rifle and sniper when required. Time a concern here for TYLOO. A smoke lands. Still got the incendiaries as well to drop forward. You're going to be committing with sub 30 to go, but flashbang is really, really good. Managed to flash out one. Call Me Sue. The counter flash from Zaka comes through at the perfect time. Headshot onto G. Call Me Sue's done all the heavy lifting though. G almost needs himself with the USB from Zaka to come through and close.
Lovely and clean from Lynn Vision. Maybe a sign of what's to come. I think that really speaks to just how effective they can be. Some great individuals, but they really do play off of each other very, very well. And yeah, worrying for TYLOO immediately. No bomb plant, no real contest in the round. Lynn Vision could just steamroll this if TYLOO can't put a stop to them fast.
Zaka in position again. Spelling will edge a little closer to these flames. You can see TYLOO is setting up utility to help JamYoung pop forward for a fight. Spelling goes though first, spots him out at the half wall. Is there a follow through flash? Will come now. Zaka forced off the line, but Westmelon still stands strong. Fast shot, and even the spam through onto G, a pre-fire, and then a wall bang comes through onto attacker. This B assault has gone poorly for TYLOO.
Yeah, really not a good start to the rifles, to the executes and set moments. So TYLOO certainly struggling out of the gate. Pistol is an isolated moment. Oh, could be a catch hit. Just seen the back end of the AWP, but it does not matter. Zaka with a clean peek drops that bomb. Left very low. Yeah, decides against it even with the flash. He does not want to risk his life at all, so really disciplined. And, you know, that's always something when you watch these domestic games especially over in Asia. If they have that discipline tuned up to 11, you know that they are really locked in. I think there's other league games, you know, week 4 of the regular league, Zach has taken that swing. 5v3, he feels confident for it, you know, but not here.
Yeah, absolutely love watching the early stage UCL Asia games. They can be very fun. Envision also a team that loves to push W at times across like Westmelon and Amelia. You often see them doing that. We'll see what their T side actually holds. Maybe we'll have some of that, but it does feel like this is a very reserved style at the start. Playing off good set utility. Zaka having a lot of impact early. No bomb plants in the last couple. TYLOO managed to scrape together something though. So we have 2 AKs and 3 Tech 9s. It's enough to make some damage and perhaps maybe try and get these Tech 9s up and aggressive.
Still going in with the buys, you know. They very much do enjoy their force buys in this region, and they're pretty good at it. It's something that, you know, Mongols, I think, really made a name for themselves last year. So maybe they can find success. We saw a couple nasty force buys in the previous series as well that really should never have worked. So by all accounts, this is not a bad looking one, to be honest. Well-timed molly there from Amelia to just keep them at bay. Oh, thinking about the swing. Ahead of the flash. Maybe needs one of his own. He is way too late. They're already into CT. Zach has got no idea. And they have thread the needle on this one. Perfect execution of the B-Rap.
Yeah, lovely. Nothing they could do. Just the timing on that was overwhelming. Zaka didn't know what hit him. And then Call Me Sue's in this really uncomfortable position where he's trying to fight forward into 2. Nowhere out. TYLOO with a lighter buy. Able to find success. Fast and punchy on that wrap. That means a bunch of upgraded weapons too for free. So that is the perfect outcome for TYLOO. They're not even going to lose anyone. Free AWP. Doesn't get much better. Well, you do need to leave. Yeah, okay, good.
Just maybe daydreaming a little bit down the scope of the AWP. But yeah, really, really great round. I think fantastic mid-round call. And it just works perfectly, right? Most of the comms there are going to be around Amelia calling for a flash and flashing now and all that sort of stuff. And while all that's going on, they're just gone. And I don't think any of the A players really considered that they could have sped up long in such a fashion. So yeah, really well played, really well timed, and TYLOO wrestle back some control. Curious to see when you have that caveat of a quote-unquote proper gun round, if the same sort of approach is employed and if it's effective.
Getting a lot of these 3-player leans early to be for the CT side. Lynn Vision have been successfully getting banana control, so I think that's something they wish to continue. Zaka is often over here with the AWP. They are going to start to rotate, but TYLOO were acknowledging early that they can get this space in towards top middle freely because of this B-heavy start. So their response, get all this control, get ready to maybe put the pressure on towards long, and they will find that pressure. Call Me Sue goes down. Zaka will slide in with the AWP, but he's smoked off, so now A is under threat.
Yeah, TYLOO looking pretty good once again. Very calculated here, and they seem to have figured out a bit of the Lynn Vision defense. The only problem being there's so many players from both sides about to divulge on this A bomb site. Plant coming in. Slim advantage for TYLOO into this one. Maybe a chance as the smoke goes down. For a couple kills to come back in. I mean, Westmelon absolutely needed that one. Zaka trying to play cheeky and a bit sneaky, but AWP moving into the site surely is not going to work here. Great angle from Mosea, of course, to see this one off. So TYLOO squeezing a few out. It might just have broken the bank. There might just be a buy in here, but all the same, looking very good.
Yeah, the good thing about finding the success 2 rounds in a row in terms of that space towards A long means that Lynn Vision might need to adjust their setup. They might need to, you know, have a faster rotation from B if they are starting 3 there early, or maybe just go back to a 2-3 setup, and then TYLOO can respond with a bit more aggression over towards Banana. So some great early conditioning to try and force Lynn Vision to adapt their game plan. Of course, into this round, we just have 2 Hero M4s. And both of those in play over at A, so they're going to go for a boost setup in towards short and really hope that TYLOO come back this way.
Which I'm not sure they will. It does look like they have their hearts set on B at the moment. Making a lot of noise over here as well, so unafraid to meet some Lynn Vision players on the other side. Again, note, TYLOO selling a bit of A. So it's just Westmelon. He is going to have a well-timed smoke here. They are not really anticipating that. Fully sending it themselves. Should be some flashes here, and I think they may want to go through this smoke, which is not the end of the world, to be honest. It is just Westmelon on a USP that's here. They seem to have him sort of figured out as well, but maybe a little dangerous from TYLOO. Bomb going to go down. That should be the round secured in a few moments.
Yeah, not much to do with just that USP playing around smokes. Maybe some damage can be inflicted here, and that's a nice kill into attacker. Allows Starry to go forward. He has armor if he can... Oh, okay, he just didn't seem to acknowledge on the swing there. And looked a bit static too. Maybe his arm, you know, got stuck on the swing. Either way, no chance to pick up that rifle. Saka and Amelia will look to hold on to theirs. And Saka can hold on to theirs, so he can drop it over and buy himself an AWP as well. So that's probably the objective here. The 6 rounds on the T side already feels very good for TYLOO. They've got plenty of money and they're calling a very good game.
Yeah, looking pretty solid at the moment, to be honest, which is a great sign. As we've said, as we've mentioned, this is the Lynn Vision sided matchup at the moment. So a bit of TYLOO does not go amiss. We've got one matchup in the past 6 months going the way of TYLOO, and that was last season of ECL. So quite a while ago. See if they can go back to their winning ways. Zaka with a keen peek does find the first kill. Westmelon is so low here, though.
He's staying here. That's crazy that he sticks around for an extra couple of seconds. Zaka doesn't even give him the AWP. Leaves him with 4 HP to defend B by himself. Fair enough. Actually kind of wild to gamble so heavily after this opening kill and to leave a player with such a little HP. They have to play retake on B. So if TYLOO recommit into this, and if they find Westmelon, they're in a fantastic position.
He's kind of aware of that, though. Gets a smoke down. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, got stuck on the wall. For goodness sake, JamYoung was blind coming around that corner, so Westmelon may well have been able to survive, to be honest. But, yeah, just getting caught on the corner is a bit embarrassing. Still on for the round, though, in the 4-on-4. Bomb going down. There's absolutely no utility remaining. There's a nade. It's not really all that useful. Kill comes in. Another for Mercury. Disaster strikes in towards CT. It felt like a pretty good spot, to be honest. They were in quickly. They had good information, but it just falls apart. A double kill from Mercury is not what you were anticipating, I guess.
And TYLOO's call to throw the deep smoke rather than the regular cross smoke and actually go for the coffins wrap. They were anticipating there'd be 2 defenders there. You could see them continuously dumping util, trying to flush someone out that wasn't there. They find that kill into Westmelon, who's already half dead. And with that deep smoke, they have full control. Sure, they don't have the utility after, but Zaka gets really caught off there. I don't know, he was like double scoped in to try and catch a player in new box and just wasn't ready for a player to be up on oranges, which is kind of surprising. But I suppose when it is such a deep CT smoke, maybe you're not ready for an oranges player because it's a bit more exposed. But yeah, it really felt like Lynn Vision had a great setup initially in that round. The decision to gamble A doesn't work out, but even in the retake with the fast banana players, it kind of looked very doable until Mercury removes both CT players.
Okay, gonna need Lynn Vision, I think, to start winning rounds again, and Zaka getting the first is always good.
Is that a blow on the smoke in middle?
Potentially. You'd assume he had some kind of vision. Maybe, I'm not sure if the smoke like landed a bit interestingly into underpass, maybe. Potentially a replay on the cards.
A cheeky way to get a kill.
Yeah.
All right, well now Zaka's going to rotate to the right place. JamYoung looks to go solo up and it's straight into Westmelon. So 2-player advantage. Lynn Vision should be able to convert this one. They've already re-clearing bananas, so that means Zaka will rotate back. And Mercury, do not walk back turned. Yeah, gun out, doesn't matter. Westmelon was holding for that. Bomb given over on a silver platter. Tucker and Mosea will try and recover. They will pick it up. Westmelon's flushed out and removed. It's still a 2-on-4 with 25 seconds. And with this rotation from Zaka, with the utility he has, I don't fancy TYLOO getting into this. Kolmisu is just going to tuck, try and play the clock. Zaka will get smoked off, so they only have one player to deal with. But with the HE, can't quite see, doesn't go deep enough. Kolmisu, flash forward, drops the bomb, and with that should be the round. Attacker is all alone. And he'll get removed after one through the smoke. And Vision find their third.
So, once again, on the precipice of a dire half, they will manage to fend off one more round. Got to keep this coming, of course. Nicely played. I think just that early pick helps them massively. They're able to calm down a little bit, not take too many risks. Still cash available. Plenty of cash available, in fact, for TYLOO. I think they should be comfortable into the next round as well. But I'm not really all that bothered about that. They are bothered about getting the return rounds at the end of the day. Aggressive AWP in apartments, one of my personal favorites. Classic JW move, but Zaka misses the shot somehow. He is able to tell the tale, but that could have been another great opener from him. Lovely contact flash, but it's an instant trade. And Amelia asleep at the wheel slightly. Nade goes down, but he loses his head in the meantime. Flank being held. Goodness me, this is a crazy round right now.
That's the bomb.
TYLOO just changing it, but yeah, of course, the bomb is in the hands of the CT side, so it gets even crazier here.
Westmelon can hold the crossfire, the smoke replenished. Now, this will separate the two CTs, but you're just kind of hoping Westmelon goes unaccounted for. He will find that kill, despite all the frags coming through on A, dropping the bomb. Looks like it might cost them. Westmelon regroups with Kolmisu. Mercury has a lot to do. We'll slowly slide through. Might actually have an opportunity here. Kolmisu looking for the fight, sees the head, but it's his that goes off, and now Westmelon comes around. Mercury takes them both down. Insane. It looked like Lynn Vision had found a way to steal that round away. The bomb gets dropped. It's in their grasp. Into the 1-on-2, and Mercury just takes them both down.
Not usually a player that gets loads and loads of attention on this TYLOO squad, but he's been playing pretty well so far in the playoffs. Of course, only one game for TYLOO, thanks to their first place finish in the regular season, but he had a very, very good series against the Chinggis Warriors. So, Might see a bit of that into this. Certainly a taste of it in that little clutch.
I didn't particularly love that setup towards the end either, because, yeah, I mean, sure, Call Me Serious got a really nice line where you can kind of see everything, but I think the problem was the trade potential wasn't there. Like, there was just no way for, was it Westmelon that was, yeah, in towards Banana to be able to immediately trade frag. So, yeah, a little disconnected from each other. It felt, obviously not a position you're often in with the bomb where it was. 8-3, TYLOO running away with his T side. Double app setup. The AWP is here again. Isaiah's not going to give that fight early. He's sitting back. TYLOO are really taking a slow burner to this one.
Yeah, I think they feel this is a pretty important round. It is the difference between, you know, an absolutely required pistol for Lynn Vision in half two versus a bit more room in that sense. Zaka continues looking good on that AWP. There's 3 in and around the apartments, and goodness me, they've been absolutely melted by it. No idea how to deal. Great catches coming in. 8-4 at the turn of the half. Will it be enough for Lynn Vision here on Inferno? We'll find out.
Strong half for TYLOO on their map pick. has them with double the round count of Lynn Vision. 8-4 is the scoreline. So Lynn Vision can offer up on their T side. We got smokes for Amelia and Westmelon. And we've got aggression down mid for TYLOO. They are moving as a pack. They're looking for answers.
Could be really effective here. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Amelia with the two-piece. Oh my goodness, but G has spotted the bomb. Panics. Does get the kill thanks to a bit of timing and lack of gun out, but he really could have stolen a couple away there if he played his cards a little bit better. JamYoung also fluffing his lines ever so slightly. Flank coming in towards short. Keep your eye on that. G doesn't really seem to have an idea. He does get the spin around. But this is such a weird game state to deal with now, I think. Both these players pretty low. Head rolls there. And just JamYoung, no armor, right? That's the key thing here. You feel like he surely just goes down to the odd bullet that lands. He doesn't have time to get the defuse in anymore. The shots are crisp. Could have done with these about 10 seconds earlier. Still in the 1v1 though, and he does lose that out. So, pretty important pistol to be taking. Lynn Vision do so. They buy themselves a lot of time in the process.
Yeah, at least G makes it costly at the end, but this could have really gone the other way with the way that TYLOO pushed through. G getting a chance there to disrupt the entire round, but needed to be a lot cleaner on that first kill. But thanks to JamYoung getting those couple of exits, everyone going down for Lynn Vision means that we will have TYLOO fully investing, and we get one of my favorite guns to see, which is the Mag 7. JamYoung is going to be rocking the shotgun. He's going to be getting aggressive with it, but he won't even get a chance to fire it. Amelia is just as fast and has taken the B-bomb site all by himself.
Yeah, this is not a good sign of things to come. Timing's slightly off and maybe not quite having the spawn to go for an aggressive push like that on the CT side. So, yeah, it does not go very well at all. I bet he was hoping to get in there, do the old jump peek, Pasha bicep style, but unfortunately, no chance, and it will be a save here for the A defenders. Try and give it another go in the next round with what would still be deemed some decent weaponry, particularly against 4 Mac 10s. But, yeah, this is pretty effective looking Lynn Vision if this keeps up.
Can TYLOO hold on to their weaponry here? Lynn Vision, I don't think they want to push the issue too hard. Because again, they lost everyone in the last round. And okay, never mind. They take everyone down. Well, that ends up being a very efficient hunt. The Mac 10s getting 3. TYLOO forced to eco. We'll have a 1-round game. Both guns have been saved. Might have been a chance for TYLOO into this one. Looks like we're going to get a very close affair on map 1.
Yeah, could well be the case. TYLOO going to have to have a really good pistol. Hopefully got something up their sleeve. Not pistol, sorry, rifle. You know, I was up early this morning, so I think I'm credited 1 or 2 brain farts. But yes, they do need a fair amount of luck on their side, I think, because this Lynn Vision squad are looking really, really good.
Just took them a bit to get going on that first half. Amelia's going for a search, and the flashbang is very disruptive, but the good news is for Lynn Vision, they are running straight into A, where there are only 2 defenders with just USPs. It'll be a colossal fumble to let this slip, and they won't. Zaka flies over. Yeah, I think for both these teams, the T sides tend to be where a lot of the heavy lifting gets done. So 8-4, while it seems intimidating, quickly slides away. As we go 8-7 before TYLOO get a chance to get their guns out again. Good news for them is that Lynn Vision will be on a bonus round. But will actually decide they don't want to play a bonus round. They drop 2 of the Mac 10s and just upgrade to AKs immediately.
On your point about the T-sides, I think these teams just enjoy being able to control engagements, right? And in a way, on T-side, you don't have to think as much. You don't have to read as much. You can just decide on a bomb site, decide on an execute, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, maybe we're back to the drawing board or give it a different go. And they do wacky stuff like this, where you double nade the corner, separate them out with a Molotov. Don't think that flash was necessarily meant for the sandbag, but it works quite nicely. And goodness me, Lynn Vision. It's quick, it's aggressive, but it is so damn strong, as they only lose one player against 3 and secure the round before it really even gets going. I think the first 30 seconds, and they've got that one in the bag.
You can tell the confidence there for Westmelon, because he gets 2 kills with the AK, he doesn't even bother to reload, he just swaps to the Glock and just runs out there, knows that even if he goes down, the trade will be there immediately, and that will secure the round. Very quickly, this has become Lynn Vision really feeling like they have full control of this game, even though it is only just about to be tied up. Every round on this T side has been theirs convincingly. The first gun round from TYLOO has nothing to say. And if they don't save these guns, they are in a world of trouble. It's already not looking good, and it gets worse. Zaka just slides off the car. Dunks on 2. Then Vision absolutely running over TYLOO.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, in that first half, when we saw things a little difficult for them, I think maybe we're thinking, oh, okay, perhaps they can, you know, take this one over the line. And Lynn Vision not quite on their best form. And now we've swapped into the second half, and it's like, okay, I see where all this kind of strength for Lynn Vision comes from, the confidence that some of the other talent have got in them. So, yeah, TYLOO shadow of themselves, and Lynn Vision quite the opposite of that. Really, really wild to see.
Zach is having a great game. Was very much enjoying his AWP on that first half. Had some big moments. Team wasn't always able to capitalize on it, but felt like he was finding the impact. Here on the T side, he is doing a lot of work as well. Everyone really contributing in spades. Lynn Vision avoid the stack in this round, which means they will be taking the lead comfortably. For TYLOO, it looks like they just want to hold on to the armor. I mean, the weapons don't matter so much because they're on full loss stage at this point, and so they were going to buy rifles next anyway, but why not make it a little more comfortable for yourself? Who knows, maybe you can catch one of these hunting players and find yourself an AK.
It's very possible. Very possible. They're going into the Lion's Den here, so not sure how I feel about this. I suppose the money maker at the front, but yeah, they're kind of apprehensive. Mac 10 trying, failing to make money. He actually gives a bit of money away. So what are we going to do now? Yeah, it looks like they will upgrade weapons for the most part. Just Attacker on his MP9, but this is seriously getting out of hand. I think they need to stop this train before it ends up crushing them. We'll see. Double digits on the horizon for Lynn Vision.
Fast fight up B. Lynn Vision have come away very bruised from this initial utility barrage. JamYoung looks to get aggressive. Nice first kill. Doesn't look like he wants to slow down either. There's a HE that blows up. Zaka will get the kill back. Amelia blown out of the server from beneath him, and Komisu and Zaka both reduced to low HP. Finally, TYLOO have a good start to the round.
Yeah, it feels like it's about damn time. But it's not over just yet. Might be over now. Starry with a wacky push through the smoke. You know, it's like, sure, maybe do it, but you got that Molotov there from Zaka. Wait for the molly, you know? And then you can all go together and try and surprise him. But they all love a smoke push, it would seem. Komisu spotted, finished off. And there is TYLOO finally showing themselves a pretty decisive win as well to even things back up.
Yeah, just some nice aggression into Banana. I mean, yeah, the HE lands on top of JamYoung, so it does damage to him as well, but gets the kill done. Great initial utility. Lynn Vision really want to take the fight in towards Banana, get bombarded. And I don't think they were expecting JamYoung to get so much up in their grill. 9-9. TYLOO start to find some footing. Again, a 3-player lean towards B, but they're not going to be aggressively pushing down this time. Instead, sitting back, that HE is going to be on the money, and between the two of them, it completely deletes one. Now the follow-through. Still 2 players here. G misses the chance on the flick up. Will fall back, stays alive.
Hard to call, hard to split these teams right now. They also recognize that with the old classic Inferno, back and forth, faking out bomb sites. Where are they going to end up? Oh, that's a great Molotov. Really forces Amelia to make noise and, you know, retain attention on B. Relatively late smoke coming in as well. They are thinking about going through it. Oh my goodness, break of the smoke actually works for G. And JamYoung's here. Did he just, like, 2 bullets, 2 headshots? They were lined up for him? That's crazy. Absolutely wild. TYLOO with a spurt of energy here towards the tail end of regulation.
Yeah, it's a little lucky, but it looked crazy cool. Taps through. Yeah, you're never going to clear that angle, Zaka. G collects him. Started well for Lynn Vision, a really nice set of double HEs to remove Mosea early, and then the recommit actually feels like the right play, but trying to force through the smoke probably wasn't, and G's able to very quickly, yeah, check that out. That is outrageous.
Damn. Yeah. Wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, what they needed, you know? They've been lacking some of the lady luck on their side throughout the second half, so maybe just when they needed it, she will shine on down. We'll see here. Timeout taken by Lynn Vision. Still, of course, completely on. Not over quite yet, and it would be really, really great for Lynn Vision if they can take this map and buy themselves some time and comfort. Yeah, no, it's still work to be done if you win this series, but I think being able to take it in a 2-0 fashion is going to feel very, very good, and then you sort of cross your fingers and toes for an upset in the lower bracket. Might make your BO5 Grand Final a little easier, and I think it is also worth remembering, something that, you know, doesn't always get mentioned until it happens, but it is a weighted BO5 as well, so if you win this one, you've got yourself that map in hand that, of course, makes life very, very easy.
And with how close these two teams have come more often than not, that extra map means a damn lot. A fight up towards long. Mercury just about gets away. He'll scamper back around, try and get towards library, but smoked off means that this site is under pressure. But G deals that player in short. Attacker fighting out towards long. Jiggles out for one. Mercury explodes through that smoke. And Zaka doesn't know which way to look. TYLOO storming ahead after Lynn Vision kicked off this half with a bang. TYLOO managed to get back in control.
Well, not quite the final hurdle, but they were pretty damn close. Lynn Vision might just have slipped up here, it would seem. Oh, man, yeah, this is a tough situation. Monetarily, they will take another timeout, but what do you do here? You know, you could eco it out and have a pretty nice buy into the next, but then you've got 3 in a row to win. Could go half here, could go full here and, you know, completely send it. Very, very difficult call.
It's a shame because I actually felt like a great call to make in that round in terms of the long ramp, but the issue was you didn't have any pressure coming in from short or apps until very late, and it was just Zaka at that point, right? Helped that G found that first kill and was able to focus towards long and help out Attacker, but yeah, there was no kind of extra threat that they had to worry about. Attacker is standing essentially in the open next to Pit and is able just to fight down that narrow choke point to long. Tech 9s to try and keep map point at bay. JamYoung just wide swinging out behind the smoke. They will establish banana control, looking to fight forward, but Mosea is ahead of it, dodges that flash in between him and G. They have metered Lynn Vision. Oh, it's just a grinder.
Damn. Okay. I mean, not a full throwaway. Maybe not expecting Lynn Vision to take the round, but something a bit more than that would have been nice. I think that will be kind of disheartening going into what could be the final round of the game here. You know, if you take a couple, if you take three, like, you have some reasons to be like, cool, good round. But if you just get completely flattened like that, it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we got to win this one now. You know, the energy's just not going to be in a good spot. So we'll see if Lynn Vision can survive a bit longer here.
Mosea might be in trouble, has support by his side. The incendiary lands just in time. Meanwhile, Attacker deals with the threat in at JamYoung, swings, and Mosea by his side. They will clean up. This is looking done. Zaka, the only one remaining. A slow crawl up B. Does have a one-on-one here. But the support is coming. Mercury on his way, and with the damage done, should be enough to close it. Zaka starts to move forward. Attacker closing in behind. Smoke does actually give Zaka some room to move here. They've given him a lot of respect. Don't want to let this one slip, allowing G and Attacker to walk up banana. But they know that he can't really get too far, and damage confirmed already. Zaka looks to try and isolate a 1v1. There's a chance on it as Attacker moves up by himself. Is that smoke landing? It's going to block his vision. Actually, he might just have a little bit of a line of sight to work with. Swings out, but can't convert it quick enough, so the trade comes through. TYLOO will defuse, and they will take their map pick of Inferno.
For just a moment there, it looked like the map was going to slip away from them, but all of a sudden they just managed to...
Really were able to find that energy to close it convincingly. For TYLOO, they have had, you know, it's not quite as stellar a run on Ancient as Lynn Vision, obviously, but they've had some good results. In fact, internationally, they almost beat out Game Allegiant on this map. FlyQuest as well, 2 series that went OT. Went against 3D Max, so plenty of reps against all caliber of opposition. So definitely a chance they can do this in 2. Starry is just going to charge up into B. The flashbangs to assist. Starry gets the opener. Mosea will answer back with 1. That's the only kill that comes through for TYLOO.
My absolute favourite pistol strat is the one guy that runs in backwards off the back of the rush. Really, really annoying, I think. However, you know, my teammates don't always get it. Think I'm trolling, but I'm like, no, man, I've seen it in Asian Counter-Strike, so, you know, it does indeed work, as we see here. Really, really clean. JamYoung, however, he's got something else to say. Wait a minute. Maybe it hasn't worked. Those are 2 incredibly fast headshots. Third is also pretty good. What is going on? I'm very confused right now. JamYoung gets 3 kills, gets on the bomb. Attacker is on A. I'm really not sure. I understand he was a bit late coming in, but he's just fully bailed on the round, not going for it at all. I think they really could have had a decent chance at that, to be honest.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? I felt like he was just going for exits, JamYoung, and then he just gets all these kills, and suddenly he's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're just going for this now. But at that point, it was already kind of a save. JamYoung was just hanging around to do damage. If he'd had his teammate with him, they could have actually won the round, which is the crazy thing. But at least with all those kills coming through, it means that they are able to fully invest into this. JamYoung is a great teammate, will drop the M4 over to Mosea. But B is not at all where Lynn Vision looked to put the pressure on. They are going to go A.
All right, let's see if we can have some of that individuality into this round then. Oh, fully bailing on the A-bomb side, though. I'm not so sure anymore. Might even with this presence revealing itself, just go in for a save. Maybe not, though. Starry goes down in middle, gets baited in. So that's certainly not ideal. An upgrade of a bit of weaponry, should they want it. However, still going to be tough to get into A, I think. All of them coming in from the same angle. No mid presence, no A main presence. Makes it all very predictable. This man advantage going to have to be stretched indeed to its maximum. Some decent smokes come down to try and isolate the fights. Amelia completely caught off guard. A couple times that's happened this series, just a bit unawares of who's friendly and who is foe. Kills coming in, it's just going to be Call Me Sue, cannot get the player off the bomb, and all of a sudden TYLOO have overwhelmed, got the defuse, won out the force buy, and they weren't even on A.
The Vision didn't even get a kill. I don't know how that goes so terribly wrong. That's remarkable how that was the worst possible outcome for Lynn Vision. It's remarkable. But it just shows how difficult that A bomb site can be to play the post plant when you don't have any position. When you don't have control over towards Donut in particular, it just becomes almost impossible to successfully play that post plant. And when they lost that mid element, immediately Donut's under threat. And TYLOO just swarm. There's just nothing Lynn Vision can do save get that bomb down. So a beautiful response with that force buy.
Gonna set the tone for this map. There's a lot that rides on this, you know, that map in hand for tomorrow's grand final, and of course the Pro League spot on the line. The map in hand is so valuable. So there's really a lot of pressure on this one. I think you can definitely feel it. It comes into play in the previous round. Yeah, a few overlooked moments, as I mentioned. Amelia getting caught off guard. Not the first time it's happened, so it's things like that. A few missed spray downs and whatnot. Seems like Lynn Vision are slightly nervy. Mercury just about gets his Mach 10 up onto the 5-7 here. Does well to find two. Thought surely he would go down instantly, but it's JamYoung that falls flat. And that could cost them big in the long run.
JamYoung did not need to still be present there. Bit of an overextension has given Lynn Vision the opportunity to get the bomb down. Nice nade on the Call Me Sue. The flames as well, he's done for. Flushed out, and yeah, good job to deal with that second player too. Zaka had a chance there to trade back. It's onto Starry. I think they had the full read on where he could be. He's going to reveal himself, gets that first kill. Remember, attacker is very low, so is Starry. Looking like he is going to convert this 1v3, but runs out of bullets. Look at the HP remaining. He gets the top 2 kills, but it's that final frag. Attacker just drive-bys.
Man alive, they're really having to battle for every single round here. TYLOO, though, stringing a couple together, but with the bomb plant, with the amount of economic damage, surely Lynn Vision come back in, so there's no let-up. I might actually be thinking about an eco. I don't know, I feel like with where you've got the econ, me personally, I'd maybe try and go for it. Still pretty early on in the game. Just, you know, keep that money as low as possible.
Real shame after it comes to the 1v1, but maybe the Tech 9 can get it done. JamYoung trades, but cops a dink in the process. G needs to be careful. The wide swings come through, and he collects 2. Necessary from that position. These rounds are also threatening, even when there is such little invested in. That is the bomb that's been pushed forward, which makes this round very difficult, especially with the HE doing such considerable damage onto Westmelon. Shouldn't be too much cause for concern here. That's a butt spotted. Surely JamYoung saw that. Well, Mercury will collect the frag, so we'll just lose the 2 players, and 3-1 TYLOO in the lead.
Yeah, again, still not the cleanest, still losing a fair few players considering the lack of buy from Lynn Vision. So it still feels like everything teetering a bit on the knife edge, right? One good solid 1 round from Lynn Vision could turn things around quite quickly, but at the moment TYLOO picking up where they left off, pretty dominant stuff, get those guns out, and yeah, they have found great success. So See whether it remains. It's a quick A hit coming in. And it comes at a very good time. Nobody around on the site itself. They were playing more of a mid-heavy setup. We did see super clean retake from them on the force buy in the second round. Quick trade out onto JamYoung. But all the same, just softening them up ever so slightly. It's a clean spray down. Attacker somehow does not find the kill onto Starry. He's left low enough. It doesn't matter all that much. It's G on the AWP doing the damage here. All onto Call Me Sue. 1 versus 3. Doesn't quite know where to look. Which players come in first. It's all very distractionary here, and it was all for Mosaic to creep in behind. And yet another successful TYLOO retake.
Yeah, and I think it's the same situation as what we had on the second round, where you get into A, sure, but it's that lack of follow-through. It's with nowhere to go. You can even see just the damage done onto Starry through the spray, through the smoke. When you don't have control of Donut, A is such a difficult site to be able to play in the post-plant. There's just nowhere comfortable that you can really position yourself. Because that fight from CT elbow feels like it favors the CT when they swing. You can see they tried to scale into Temple, but G holding out with the AWP gets a double down from that position. The lack of donut control results in the same outcome. Sure, you get the bomb down, but there's nothing behind it. Mid has been relatively successful for Lynn Vision. They have been able to get out here and find a kill on a few occasions. So they look to test it again. Starry has this hero AK that's in play. It's Attacker on the off angle that, again, overwhelmed by the Tech 9s. It feels like these are the deadliest weapons right now.
Just those surprise peaks, surprise frags. Kind of what Lynn Vision are after. Really quick and accurate shots. What are they going to do with that kill? I mean, JamYoung not really paying any heed towards Donut, and he loses his head. I suppose this is the difficulty with the kill coming in so early and so quickly. It's a lack of information from Attacker to spread to his teammates. Really simple. I mean, 2 kills and it's just kind of over. There's nothing that TYLOO can do. They lack so much in terms of info, any damage done, what kind of weapons do they even have, you know. So, just going to have to leave it.
Yeah, so Lynn Vision do identify that weakness. Attacker playing a very exposed position. That off angle at Donut is normally quite powerful, but Amelia very quick on that first bullet accuracy. You don't want to... almost the collateral. So you don't want to lose this AWP, but the bomb will help in holding on to that. TYLOO have been leaning a lot of players B early after Lynn Vision started to put the pressure on there in the opening rounds, but they've since changed their approach. So will TYLOO adapt and be a little bit more aggro in middle? Not uncommon for the CTs to just establish that control early. I think if Lynn Vision are going to punish it consistently, you do need to maybe put a little bit more presence there. Which they will.
More mid-aggression here. Oh, it's a great flash over. Yeah, really, I think well spotted. That flash was good, but the peak not so much. Little whoopsie-daisy there. G trying not to spread around too much. This is awkward. Mercury does manage to clean up house, though, from above here. Starry trapped. Does find one. The Molotov surely going to take him down, and it does. So, kind of scrappy, kind of messy. A few failed flashes and over peaks, etc. But TYLOO do manage to just about scrape it together.
Yeah, they identified pretty much exactly what I was laying out there, that Lynn Vision have found that mid is very approachable for them, so TYLOO instead decide to take the fight to them. Doesn't quite start well, but it's the fact that they've got 2 extra players, then later on that presence from Mercury from above, so they've got all of these different angles that are coming at Lynn Vision, who are very one-dimensional in this mid approach. Also one-dimensional in this one. It's a fast A play once again. G is here with the AWP. How many can he get? First is good, fully blind, hits that timing shot onto Westmelon, gives that advantage early. Mosaic goes in for one as well. Very risky peak, to be honest, if he'd gone down for free. There's still going to be a player advantage as bomb planted.
Yeah, still feels kind of risky in and of itself, you know, just giving away that kind of control. No one else is really near the site itself. G does get his hands onto an AK there, just sort of swapping out. But yeah, this feels like a really unconfident retake, to be honest. They don't have a lot of time. Going to have to find these kills quick. It's a double stack towards Temple for the T side. Really not easy to get through. G does manage it. His teammate's going to have to get on that bomb. It's a tap. I think you got to hold it. G's the only one with a kit. However, the kill comes in. It's just about in the nick of time. Very well played from them. Very well communicated. I hadn't caught where the kit was, but G knew exactly what was up, and his boy had his back. So, again, TYLOO getting away with it, but they will, to their credit, find a clean enough retake in the end.
Yeah, there's the sort of rounds I think TYLOO in the past would have let slip, but really good comms there and responsiveness. G had that kit the entire time, but was in a really tricky spot to get into that bomb quickly. Needed to fight his way out of Temple. 3 kills in the round, so that round is entirely G. And a necessary kill from his teammate to remove Call Me Sue and deny bomb defusal. So 6-2. Envision will call their first timeout because it's got to be frustrating. They've been in so many post plants across this map so far, but only 2 rounds to their name. One being the pistol, and one that came through off the Tech 9 play in middle. So when it comes to these gun rounds, that's where they've been actually lacking the success.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. I think the big old C word as well, the consistency, which is obviously very important in the game of Counter-Strike. So, left scratching their heads ever so slightly. They've come so close in a lot of rounds as well, I have to be honest. I think there's a world in which this is 4-4 at least, if not a little bit more for Lynn Vision. So, yeah, sometimes that is the way it goes. They still have plenty of room and time to gain some space here and just win some rounds. At the end of the day, I think 4 wasn't quite enough for them. If they can get up to 5 at the very least, then perhaps we are in with a fighting chance.
Good control. I mean, sure, you've got Mosaic who's pushed through, but it's all false info. This is crazy. Okay, he'll get the info now. The rotations can come back, but they had evacuated B. They were mostly thinking this was going to be the A play, and they're still not convinced. Those rotations need to come. Mercury is still here, so he's keeping control of long for now, but you can see Lynn Vision do want to fight forward. Westmelon is close by the angle. Bomb gets planted. A lot of flashbangs poised. Need a good one to get this long control. A lot of players on the line. G holding down to see if a head presents itself. Great flick down from G. That's that first kill they were looking for. Trying for the wallbang too. Doesn't quite hit the mark, but now the rest of the team can come through. Mercury spams one, sees one at default, but Zaka has just demolished them with Amelia, and that is enough to burst through. Talk about threading the needle.
Yeah, a little harder on the B-bomb site to sort of brute force your way into the retake. So Zaka towards the back, really, just having like the full view of what's going on, where the opponents are, where the gaps are and whatnot, and he really does play it well. Big 2-piece from him to stop any kind of trades coming in. Really, there was maybe 1 or 2 kills around him, but yeah, it's certainly lower HP, random spray down based on a bit of information could work for TYLOO to just even the numbers back up. So he is the man of the hour. Timeout coming in here. TYLOO, full respect, know that Lynn Vision are capable of bringing it back and also know themselves that the money is not great. So this is a pretty important round to, at the very least, do some damage and save, right? But obviously they want to get it in the back pocket.
Yeah, with how close some of these last rounds have come, it really is having ramifications. And Vision have been looking for this breakthrough, what feels like forever. And they're just going to rush B. A straight up B rush. What a call to make at this moment. Mercury with the MP9, finds a good timing to swing out, takes down 2 with the SMG. Can he get any more? Oh, yes, he can. All by himself with just an MP9. And then the USP swap 2. He's gone for all 5. Mercury has been lights out. It's just Zaka who's in the back of sight. And with this fast flank from Attacker, even if he manages to deal with G, who is trying to be a distraction, trying to bait, yeah, Attacker's there to close, but this round is all Mercury.
Wild. Absolutely wild. I mean, again, a player that does not get talked about all that often, of course, with the duties that he has leading the team, but this series, he's looked pretty good for me, and as I mentioned in the previous series as well. So this particular playoffs, he really wants it, I think. He had a big old moment on Inferno as well. Bit of a clutch up, if I do remember correctly. So good to see him capable at the end of the day, and they don't always have to rely on the same old people to win the rounds. Attacker with the nade and the spam will take Starry early on here. So scary, scary prospect. 5 versus 4 could really threaten this round and then really threaten a 9-3 scoreline, which is one of those scorelines where we start to talk about the game being won in the first half. Lynn Vision going to have to make a comeback into this one, and they are looking for a quick B burst. On the edge of the smoke is Attacker. The flash does not work for him at all. He will go down, followed through the smoke. Call Me Sue with the double entry might just have done enough to get Lynn Vision this all-important round. JamYoung with a fast flank brings it back into a 3-on-3.
It's been interesting. It looked like they might have been setting up for the save, but with JamYoung finding that and the follow-through, it's just Westmelon. What looks so good on the entries has quickly slipped away. Westmelon has managed to find a timing to walk around, so he has actually a chance to catch up JamYoung. Yeah, not anticipating that, Tim. That is an obscene tap. G doesn't even get a chance in it. A flashbang forward baits him off the bomb, and Westmelon comes in clutch. That was disgusting.
Goodness gracious. It is an explosive end to this first half, which is, I think, absolutely what we wanted. But yeah, ridiculous, isn't it? And again, the tap is crazy, but not quite on top of each other, not quite in position, maybe getting on the bomb a little hastily, but then panic sets in. Is there enough time? All those kinds of questions. TYLOO create the parameters, and goodness me, what a clutch. What a clutch. In the end, the flashes are just, I suppose, really good from either side. Everybody was blind there for a good few seconds. It will be Lynn Vision to come away with this very winnable situation now. Mercury can't get his hands on to the AK. Difficult shots from Mosea's 5-7. They decide to bail on B. We'll see what G can do.
You know, he might have a cheeky little timing here in Temple. Zaka on the outside of Big Box is not going to be revealed to Temple. But ahead of the smoke, yeah, there's that timing. Swings out, but not ready for Amelia. Can't quite adjust. There was a real world. He could have found that double up. Without a kit, Amelia is low, so there is a chance, but it's the split up of these two players that makes it tricky. You know it's got to be Temple, but Starry's cheeky little angle holding that slither gap. Amelia does not need to play just yet. Will swing out, so that kill is given over. Oh my god, there's a chance. But now the time's not there. Needed that instantly, so Lynn Vision will recover 7-5 at the half.
Welcome back in, folks. Down the barrel of the second half here. TYLOO with a slight lead, but it really could change in an instant with headshots like that. Maybe we are in for a bit more TYLOO action. They're going to drop back after that frag. Amelia caught in the back of the head. Knew he didn't have much of a chance to get away, and indeed he was correct. 5 on 3. Not looking too good. Julie's trying to get in the mixture here, but losing teammates left, right, and center. Call me Sue, the only one to find a kill. TYLOO might just get this ball rolling and maybe going to take this 2-0 here.
That was explosive. And I love the way TYLOO pivoted there. It just didn't really allow Lynn Vision to get ahead of those rotations. Unlucky for Amelia because he really almost made the right play, dropping that smoke. It was going to be one that's a bit deeper in Donut so that he has more room to work with, but cops the bullet to the back of the dome. The G PD50 doing wonders. No force buy for Lynn Vision, so TYLOO looking to establish a 9-5 lead. Mercury looking to get active with the MAC-10. I think G might have spotted a whiff of something. Oh, okay, yeah. That's what we call mechanics here in the business. You can fix your car with mechanics like that.
Yeah, I'd give him a good shout.
I need my head gasket fixed, so
yeah.
I'll get G on it. 9-5.
I bet he is like that, though. I bet he's a guy that's got, like, some super secret, obscure hobby, you know, that he's really, really good at. I find people that are, you know, at the top end of competition and stuff like that, they need something else to just take their mind off it, but still the same sort of fix. Yes, true. I did see that where he was like, yeah, I'll take 4 face-it wins instead of a holiday or whatever it was, you know, going to the beach, something like that.
Yeah. They're going to what? It was like the west coast of Portugal, like the end of where the coastline is of mainland Europe. Nah, it's fine. I play face-it. I can see sunshine in mirage is Donk's motto. Added bonus of that is, you know, as he gets older, he'll have great skin, won't be sun damaged.
It's true. It's very true. Yeah. All that money he will save on sun cream. Oh! JamYoung. Nice and crisp. It is slightly softened for Lynn Vision by the fact that Zaka found an opening frag. He seemed to be doing that quite a lot on CT side Inferno, so maybe going to get back to it here. On Ancient, B is deceivably weakened. Westmelon bided his time beautifully to find the 2-piece to maybe solidify this round. His position going to be known. JamYoung got a lot to get through. Clean headshot onto the first, can't quite net the second, however. So Lynn Vision with the all-important first gun round, denying the bomb plant. So they are getting a bit closer, nipping at the heels of TYLOO.
Yeah, lovely round there from Westmelon in particular. Because it actually looked like the perfect time to hit onto that A bomb site. There was a single defender, but the rotation comes at the exact moment that was necessary. Allows Westmelon to thrive in that chaos. So Lynn Vision get their first CT round. Run boost to get control of ledge early, but TYLOO are looking for a play on A. Now, can they find more success than Lynn Vision did?
Molotov in. Gonna slow them down for a moment, allow Zaka to maybe cross in. There is a flash over the top. It's not the best. Oh, and they don't rightly know where he is. So he gets a second that he never really should have had any chance at. Call Me Sue dealt with. Rotations are here pretty quickly. However, G swaps panickedly to that AK, and it's just not going to happen. Amelia comes in off the back of the flash. So Lynn Vision, CT side, off to a flying start.
Very nice from Zaka. A double up, exactly what the doctor ordered, and then Amelia following through the double of his own. So yeah, they deal with that A hit even better than TYLOO did. But Lynn Vision did this in the first half, the first map too, where they kind of had a little bit of a fake comeback going on. Couldn't maintain that momentum, so let's see if they can. Won't be a slip up here because it's literally just 5 clocks.
Any kind of damage is good damage. That's what I like to say in these rounds. So just 1 kill would be good. 2's very nice. If they can get a bomb plant, that's brilliant. But you really do not expect anything here. On the default pistols, they will slowly start to reveal themselves, and Mercury gets the business end of the A4 here. Although the price changes, it's not quite as common as maybe you might think. I think people are still fans of the A1S. Often pro players in particular are afraid of change.
I think it's just Counter-Strike players in general are afraid of change. I think the prevalence of Mirage and Dust 2 speaks volumes to the fear that the average Counter-Strike player has of having to do anything other than playing the same map 10,000 times.
It is true that, you know, golden ELO number wherever you play going up is potentially the dragon that we're all chasing, I think, as Counter-Strike players.
All right, TYLOO, what have you got for us? Looking like they want to fight in towards middle. A lot of flashbangs being set up, a double layering of them, but 3 CTs on the other side. JamYoung ducks down and he delivers. Looking for more as well. If he had the AK, would have been that 3rd kill. Still a chance here. Good flashbang over. Call me soon. Not in a position to capitalize. Immediately will swing out and almost takes down 2. In fact, it's Attacker that takes down his teammate. And Westmoreland's flank is really well timed. Now, bomb can't be disrupted. That's the key thing. But Westmoreland will get that kill. Low HP. Mosaic, standing at the off angle, has all of the advantage. Inner creeps forward and will convert. Beautiful round from TYLOO. Set up off that mid play. Double set of flashes for JamYoung to find success.
Yeah, a crazy round. You know, I was head in hands a couple times with that one, to be honest with you. I think lucky in the end that it was a low HP move in. So, yeah, nothing to worry about there. But, man, in mid, I don't know what to make of it, right? Like, the Lynn Vision response is 3 players moving through the smokes. I'm not sure I can ever really agree with a play like that. Unless, you know, by the grace of God, there's only 1 player on the other side of the smoke that you're pushing through, I guess. Just kind of a lazy response almost, you know what I mean? Like, too instinctive, you might argue. Someone in there maybe needed to say, let's not do that. But it's tough in the thick of battle, in the moment. Someone says, push the smoke, you know, everyone's going to be like, right, I guess we're doing it. And it just doesn't work at all. But yeah, feels like an out-of-place response for sure.
This one a lot slower. Zaka is in position with his AWP. Hasn't been quite as prevalent as he was on map 1. JamYoung's going to get close in towards red. Are they looking to wrap through? Yeah, you can see that smoke spin drop towards lane. Westmoreland looks to edge in front of it. Support has been called over. Westmoreland will, in fact, drop a second incendiary, so it's keeping a lot of players at bay. They have a perfect read. 20 seconds left. This bomb is going to come through spawn with sub 20 seconds. Oh, TYLOO, this has the potential to be disastrous. Oh, Mosaic getting 1. The bomb's dropped. No, it's not. Okay, they've still got it, but it will get dropped now. So even though you've got the site, you cannot get the bomb down. Time, the biggest issue. Oh, and Peter's out.
Yeah, a bit of a yikes. I mean, not a lot of time. Bomb gets dropped. There was, I think, enough. It was about 10 seconds, maybe 9 when the bomb hit the floor, but there wasn't that panic. Again, you know, maybe lacking someone saying, you got to get the bomb, because they were sort of still clearing the site, thinking that they had time to play with. But it was absolutely not the case. As soon as that bomb carrier went down, it needed... You know, Moser, I think, was closest. It needed him to just charge for the bomb, get it planted. You know, that's the main priority. But he was clearing boost, taking his time, you know. So the element of time there felt like it wasn't really in the equation. They hadn't talked about it. No one had said, guys, we've only got 20 seconds, you know, making people aware of how low the time was. So, bit of pressure. Certainly getting to both teams, I think, and some mistakes starting to creep in.
Great delay utility, though, from Lynn Vision. Just like Westmoreland dropping that in Sentry, just as the seconds start to tick down. Like that is those 3 seconds that make the difference, that prevent that bomb being recollected. Yeah, crazy call to make with that time left. Again, going to try and run it back over on this A-bomb side. Try and punish Amelia. Starry is here to help out, but the other teammates are very far away. However, with the slight delay in committing off the back of it, Zaka is in towards middle. TYLOO not following through might actually cause Lynn Vision to pause a little here. Amelia stands at a bit of an off angle. Second set of util. Gets a whiff of that presence. Gets that first kill, looking for a follow through. Amelia doubles down. Starry standing in the open, doesn't get his chance, but doesn't need to stay in fight. They've got the advantage, at least they had it for a moment, but the spam through and then Attacker gets one as well. Great flashbang. Sets up Call Me Sue. Flames land on his feet, but he puts the bullets forward. And it's all onto G. Galil in hand. And Molly could go right into the power position, but they're ahead of it. They swing out in front and they run him down.
Wow, I mean, some, again, crazy moments. Call Me Sue, obviously the hero, but just a blind spam through the smoke. You know, no real reason to do that other than habit. Gets TYLOO back into the round, but yeah, just caught with nades and very, very good timing. Call Me Sue stepping up in a big way and joining Westmoreland towards the top end of the scoreboard. So TYLOO really up the creek without a paddle now. So yeah, not looking good at all. 10 to 10, but as you can see, a lack of finances means that they will have to concede this one.
This is a crazy position, but thankfully for Zaka, hits that shot onto G. I can just see a wide swing Deagle headshot coming through, but Zaka is good on the flicks. Takes down 3. Will eventually be run down, but he's done his job. The cleanup crew arrives, so only 1 casualty. Lynn Vision take the lead. First time on this map, and in fact, I think maybe the first time in this series.
Yeah, I think you might be right. In fact, I think you are right. I'd maybe...
Sorry, they did take the pistol, right?
Put a bit on it. That's
then,
true. Yeah, that is true. Doesn't really count. You know, pistol's a whole different ball game to me. But... yeah, the control has been with TYLOO for the most part, and I think Lynn Vision seem to be getting some of that back. TYLOO still have, of course, this 1 round of breathing room to just deny them away from that all-important 12. Lovely push down the ramp, though, from the CT side. What is the response now from TYLOO? There's not even really any damage done during that push, so this looks like a pretty... scary prospect. It is mid that is open. All going to be on Zaka. We have to keep our eyes on him. And he needs to be very careful here. Oh, he's ahead of the smoke, though. Timings work nicely for him, but he misses the shot. Bit too close to the action. It's a nice CT smoke, however. Going to keep them corralled in this position at the moment. And Starry wanted 1. Well, he got 2. Goodness me. 4 on 2 now for Lynn Vision.
I hated that so much. Like, you get the kill on Zaka. I just feel like walking through these smokes here is a massive mistake to make. Of course, it can easily go the other way, but it's just that that's such a coin flip play to make. It's such an important juncture. At least G has found some space, and I think he's a little shocked at the amount of space he's got. He's going to clear donut, and if he finds that empty, then that's just a free runway to get onto this A bomb site. There's a smoke in play, so G can drop that towards CT. He might try and catch a kill. Now, if he just contacts in, oh, there was a well that he could have maybe caught off Starry, and in fact, he still will get that kill. So 2 on 3. Amelia has gotten here at a good time. Now, if they can catch out Amelia, that would have been the way to set up this round, but Amelia, he's the one that doubles down, denying that 2v4 and finding map point.
Looking good, feeling good as well. Bit of BM there on the dead body. So yes, they might just have found this second wind. TYLOO struggling to even remain competitive in these rounds. So potentially a third going to be on the cards here. And both teams just kind of proving why their map picks make sense, you know, able to gain the extra edge when it matters most, right? Those final few rounds that they're able to pull out. Still a possibility for TYLOO to bring this to the overtime. They're going to go straight in for a B rush because, of course, they are. Kormisu does get caught, not really recognizing quite how fast they were coming in. Zaka through the smoke does well on the AWP, gets aggressive for another, will lose his life. Trades galore right now. 2 versus 2. Bomb has yet to go down. Oh, and G spins around for the trade to keep them alive. Didn't even get the plant in there. It was just pure TDM.
Yeah, that was just an absolute brawl on B. They were going blow for blow, and that looked terrible for TYLOO to begin with the response from Lynn Vision. It really felt like they were going to be able to overwhelm, especially there was a missed smoke that was going towards the CT boxes to, you know, cut off the rotates. That doesn't land properly, so Amelia is able to re-swing from there after Zaka goes down, and you think maybe they can get this kill from Cave, but G, necessary, and they're going to run it back. Straight up into B. Damage is huge, though. Flashbang gets everybody, and it's Attacker that finally comes through, but it's too late. JamYoung left on a single point of HP. Taken down. G falls as well. They try and run it back, but this time it is Lynn Vision that come out ahead, and they take their map pick of Ancient.
You know, again, something to speak to the mental, and TYLOO maybe feeling like they just cannot catch a break in the past sort of 15, 20 minutes of game time.
Kormisu coming in clutch with a nice, I think it was a triple in the knife round there. So there's that NA experience coming into play. So the CT side, for Lynn Vision, Amelia given dual Berettas and the smoke grenade. So you imagine he'll just be chilling out on B by himself, trying to play delay. The rest of the squad looking to fight over on A. And for TYLOO, they are going heavy through the hole. So Amelia will have a bit of work. He'll drop the smoke as soon as he hears those footsteps, but it's not a commitment down initially.
Not quite yet. But they're looking to be. Nade is just a tad bit early. What are the options here? I mean, a lot of utility available for TYLOO, of course. And the smoke's coming all the way over. They are faking things out towards A, though. Maybe. Might actually pull the bomb out and go that way. In the end, they're losing a good number of players here, so not really the best of starts for TYLOO. JamYoung does trade one back, but going to need a bit more than that if they're to convince us of the win here.
Oh, a tricky space gathering there, though. Like, Mercury just slides through and sees no one. He was kind of tempted to push through Con. And instead, when he does go back there are 2 CTs to greet him. So it's just under Mazaire in 1v4. First kill is his. Bomb planted on the Con side. So he has to kind of wide swing to do anything about it and won't even be given the chance to get that clutch going. So Lynn Vision did look like it was going to be theirs to take. Kormisu getting an opening kill, but with TYLOO finding a little space onto A, you could almost see a way into that round for them, at least with the bomb plant and with a couple of kills. They'll certainly be investing into this. So both these teams have loved to force buy throughout this series. So it's not going to be an easy second round for Lynn Vision, especially with the double MP9 Scout. Keep your eyes on these Galils and what they can offer up.
Oh, air burst there of the Molotov. Not necessarily ideal. We still calling it Pop Dog? I saw you, I think, tweeting out about Long Dog when this map first came out.
Obviously, yeah, Pop Dog being the main kind of lower area of it, but it's that upper area, which I know some have been calling Long Dog. I prefer Up Dog because I think it is a bit more evocative of the actual space because it's the top of Pop Dog. It's Up Dog.
Sure.
Obviously, it also sets you up for plenty of hilarity when you drop the Up Dog call in your games. Like, oh, one's Up Dog. And then someone's like, what's Up Dog? And then you get to do the joke, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's worth it for the comedic value alone.
Yes, for sure. I think it's kind of interesting as it develops, you know, maps change and whatnot. We are getting a lot of very different call-outs. So it's good to have a few funny ones in there. And I think Pop Dog, you know, is a classic call-out. And it's always nice as well to sort of flex that deeper CS knowledge with maybe some of your friends that don't quite know why it was called that and whatnot. So, you know, it's a pretty cool area. So I'm down to add even more kind of chaos into the mix with an Up Dog.
Yeah, I mean, because it's such an extended space now, right? Pop Dog encompasses so many areas. It's good to be able to, you know, get a little specific with the location. Because someone says Pop Dog these days, like, it could be quite broad, and it's good to know if they're like close to the A side entrance or if they're up towards, you know, the B side.
Big round taken, as it will actually be a return coming in. So we're seeing the Force buys find success once again. It does seem that this game is never really all that stable between these two teams. Lynn Vision come back with a buy of their own, and it doesn't look too pretty. So this could be very, very scary indeed. TYLOO looking to, of course, get a lead and break the back of the CT side. You know, winning out a T-side force buy and then converting it is one of the worst economic situations you can leave your opponents in. So TYLOO, of course, playing pretty tense here, making sure that that is going to be the case.
Now setting up for this A play, and with Lynn Vision gambling heavy towards B, there's a lot on the shoulders of these two defenders. Westmelon just trying to get ahead of the utility, drop his own to slow them down. They burst out ahead, and Mercury will remove Westmelon. Still Call Me Sue in the back of side, but all he has is the deagle, will connect with it. And the T-Smoke actually gives him a little bit of space. She fakes out the bomb, but there's nothing to disrupt it, so he'll go back in on the second time. With JamYoung removing Call Me Sue, space for the CTs in this round is limited. And they probably just look to contain.
Might be able to grab one on the way out, especially Amelia. But yeah, TYLOO looking good. I mean, take their time, play it patiently, play it again, disciplined, kind of the word of the series, and it pays off in a big way. Really nice round. Most everyone surviving, and they will get that second. So Lynn Vision, they've got some weapons through into the next round. Not really expecting too much from them, and yeah, they'll be left in a dodgy kind of situation. Even like, this is one of the things I talk about a lot. We don't see it as much anymore, but you know, there was a time that T-side force buys were super, super effective. And yeah, you'd see CTs go through the regular motions, which is to return force, then eco, and then buy. But even the buy after all this is not the best because you just haven't built up that loss bonus. So we'll see if that's the case here. Maybe some kill bonus comes across from some of these guns. It could make a big difference, but yeah, Lynn Vision, I think, just have to be really, really careful with their gun round response.
We've done well thus far to avoid technicals, and this one will not last any longer than the sentence that I started about it, so that's good. But yes, TYLOO, after winning against the Force Spy, now find themselves in a great position on this T side. Ideal, really. So they should trip up against these weapons that have been kept over. You'll be in a commanding position to get this map started. Going to be a flood of players from the CT side onto this A bomb site. Mercury might be in a little bit of danger here. Yeah, Starry flicks back up and then attacker goes forward. The flashbang sets up Starry to double down with the MP9. G steps in. That's the bomb given over, but Mosea behind him will deliver the necessary double to keep it even. Still got Zaka backside, a slow flank coming through. Is he actually going to push down Pop Dog? No, he's going to go for the full flank around main. So Zaka is completely alone right now. Nothing to flush him forward is the issue. So he's buying a lot of time, but goes down. And with him falling, TYLOO just need to stick together. Looks like they can circumvent Amelia completely.
Yeah, big kill at the back of the site just gives them a lot of freedom. So, well recovered here. Obviously, a very messy round given what they were up against, weaponry-wise, but it looks like they might just have slipped the net and won out the round. Yeah, Amelia's just going to grab an AK and go for a save, I think.
Still, I love what Lynn Vision brought into that round. So the decision to get aggressive in towards main, which has become a bit of a staple of many CT sides, but they've not really shown it when they had the rifles out earlier. So they go into this one, MP9, Starry with a brilliant adjustment onto Mercury to get things started. And then that follow-through flash, just not slowing down, but it was very dicey because TYLOO kept committing players and it felt like each one was going in one by one and then getting caught out. But it was that extra fourth player that comes through, which does enough damage to alleviate that pressure. Now, it was only the held over weaponry from the round previous, so wasn't too much there outside the MP9 scout. So into this one, it's a lot more deadly. We've got the AWP for Zaka. Train, definitely a map where you can find a lot of impact with the sniper. And we've got a fast crunch looking to take place towards upper halls.
Zaka finding the Ivy player. I think was trying to get in there nice and early. Westmelon kind of messing up the flashbang there, but it's not going to affect him too much. Dry swinging in here from E-Box. JamYoung and G quickly back in. This is an important one. It's again traded instantly. 2 versus 2 now, and a catch-off from Call Me Sue for the double kill to net that round. I mean, again, very fast, very messy. And I think TYLOO just needs to take a chill, because it's getting slightly giddy at the moment.
But first gun round full in vision after getting reset early. Attackers all find success to get things going. But it's G's AWP that finds the first kill ahead of that smoke that was deep there to deny the Molotov. Amelia gets aggressive. Nice shot onto JamYoung. So immediately an answer back. And at the moment, not a lot of space with a deep smoke. Call Me Sue is in towards that up dog position. Oh, he's going to re-smoke it too. They are blocked out right now and kind of have to reroute elsewhere.
Yeah, not ideal. I mean, you say that, they're actually wanting to stick around and really give this the area a go. Yeah, Mercury's got the molly, but thinking against it, and, you know, at the end of the day, Call Me Sue's going to be able to get away from this molly, opts to go through it. They don't do as much damage as they once did, but I suppose Still a risky play, and it is this untraded kill onto West Melon that could be problematic. Oh god, the fire is awfully close and they are awfully low. Plenty of time to get the bomb down though. No need to panic. The cross, not easy. Mosea there with the trade. And it is Zaka left in the 1 versus 2. Rotating around. Still wants to go for this by the looks of it, but I don't know, this feels like a safe situation, honestly.
If you had the kit, and maybe a rifle as well. Mosea is so low. G is holding down towards lower right. Well, spotted him and looking for that tap. Needs to be careful. AK swap 2 and kit recovered. So he has managed to get those 2 pieces that are necessary to get this retake going. But it's that second player that he's unaware of. First kill comes through. He gets brought down low. G is just playing around the smoke. Zaka. Oh no. G, turn around. Turn around. Okay, he will get him. That smoke, thankfully for G, doesn't go deep enough, so he's able to spin around and find it, but nice try.
Honestly, I'm not sure why he went for the knife. He had a Tech 9. I think that's a pretty good pistol to just sort of spam with. And if he wasn't low, there's a chance that even while being knifed, he could have picked up the defuse. There wasn't long left. So, uncomfortably close. Uncomfortably close. TYLOO move up to 4. We'll see Lynn Vision having to eco things out. So just the one deagle. I think there was a nade in there. Flashes here. So potential for a tiny bit of something to maybe set up 1 kill. But the round itself should not go the way of Lynn Vision.
Attacker does have the bomb, so he needs to be a little careful, but he will convert 2 kills, so good control with the spray. Yeah, the concern comes because his support is an AWP, so again, a weapon that can be easily overwhelmed if you miss the mark. Oh, well, that's an easy kill. "5-2" already feels like a brilliant T side. And I don't think they'll be slowing down from this point either.
Yeah. It is a good look for TYLOO. And, you know, I think that Lynn Vision, yes, they've been finding success on train, but still a limited sample size. So there are really no guarantees with how young this map still feels. You know, I don't think it is a perfect map. I don't think it is... It's maybe just verging on good. It's fun to play, but maybe that's just because it's fresh and new still. I just feel layout-wise and competitive-wise, it's not the best. So we don't see it loads and loads.
I think part of it is you need to put a lot of work into a map like this early when it comes into the pool. Like, you can't just, like, look at the strats that other teams are using and adapt them, you know, into your game plan like you can with, like, a Mirage or something. You kind of have to be very inventive. And it is a map that does require a lot of tactical depth on both sides of the server. But it can be a good one, you know, to specialize in if you are, particularly from like a region like Asia Pacific, where, you know, if you do get these opportunities to play internationally, it can be a map that you can maybe catch off some of the tier 1, tier 2 in Europe with.
Yeah. Maybe something that, you know, a Lynn Vision are trying to do at the moment. But yes, it's always good. It just feels like, you know, when Vertigo came in, when Ancient came in, even Anubis to a certain extent, we just had these teams absolutely spamming the new maps, you know. Maybe it's a bit easier in Tier 2 Europe, especially during that kind of COVID era, because there was just so many tournaments going on. But it does feel like Train is not quite on the same level, you know. Teams not adopting it as heavily. Maybe because the other maps in the pool also feel pretty damn good at the moment. Attacker, going to open up. We've got West Melon over here, hidden away. He will get the kill. He gets 2. Still not quite enough. He sacrificed a couple of his teammates, plus a nade, a really good nade, of course. So... yeah, difficult for him to deal now. He's got the support coming in from behind, but that support is quickly dealt with. all on Westmelon. They've got a good idea of where he's at. Eats a nade, so might have had him on for the 1 versus 3 ace if he had not taken that amount of damage. There you go, you see. Bit more HP, probably gets that kill on Mosaic, then he's against the AWP, so the nade makes a big old difference. TYLOO keeps stringing them together.
Yeah, that one just feels like a bit of a disjointed defense, doesn't it? Westmelon's playing up in that device position, which feels, very powerful on the B side, but it's that he lets Attacker kind of slide by, and that's not necessarily his fault that Attacker gets there, but it's more that the rest of the team weren't ready for that possibility. So whether that's just he hasn't commed that, or whether they just haven't responded to that possibility, maybe a little distracted by the massive nade that landed in their faces. Either way, Taka manages to charge through, and he is having a bit of a field day these last couple of rounds. Enjoying his time on the T side, 6-2. And TYLOO looking in pole position to win out the half, because it will just be a couple of upgraded pistols into this one. Westmelon might look to keep money for AWP for Zaka. So, yeah, this is a great T side from TYLOO. They're already looking to break that trend of train as of late between these two teams.
Yeah, it would be a hell of a thing. I mean, to clean it up on train. As you say, map-wise, it's been tough for them against Envision, but series-wise as well, I think they'd be very, very happy to win it on an unlikely map. Oh, bit of a push forwards. It is dealt with. Mercury gets a nasty scare, but ultimately all good. Mosaic loses his head to the stray Deagle bullet. Nothing to really worry about here, as Amelia will take his sweet time moving in. Here's the plan. Is that going to tempt him through the smoke? Yes, it is. And I mean, he gets away with the kill, so fair enough. Fair enough. No real investment there. They net a couple of frags. Certainly can be happy with that.
All right, need to see a little bit more fight out of Lynn Vision, because this has been a very flat CT half. Zaka's AWP comes into play again. I actually feel like both of his kills might have come up the AWP. Tactical timeout for TYLOO. I just think they're the ones that call it here, given the momentum that they are currently under. But I guess recognizing that Lynn Vision most likely to try and maybe deviate from what's been happening so far. So maybe hitting up the strat book, preparing themselves into this gun round. If they win this, I don't know, it just feels like Lynn Vision will be out of contention.
Yeah, it's very, very possible, to be honest. Not really seen anything from Lynn Vision. They got the pistol, got a stray round. So, really not all that excited about their CT side at the moment. Cool skins, but not necessarily equaling wins at the moment. So, yeah, TYLOO, hopefully, for their sake, will keep this going and keep this domination coming. However, does not start well. Zaka through the smoke to find the first.
They've still got all this deep control in towards main too, so it makes it really hard for TYLOO to find space. Going to be in towards Ivy that they look to do so. Zaka is here, and wide swing. That's maybe a little bit of a mistake from Zaka. G gets that trade. That's the bomb spotted, so TYLOO don't look to move immediately. They know that the smokes have all been deployed in towards main, so if they do pause, although Starry has found one on one of the bodies of one of the T's. Amelia has pushed all the way through B. Now, the problem with this is that JamYoung has now gone back there. So there is a real chance this fight here between these two players could have a huge impact on the round. And JamYoung somehow on the fade back, just checking, as he's crossing past, catches out Amelia. They exchange headshots, and look at the rotations he is drawn to be.
Yeah, damn, this is huge. This is huge. TYLOO just running rings around them. It is a little tentative. They do have the utility left, however, to create space for the bomb. Molotov not going to reach that side of the site to stop the plant coming in, and they have firmly been bamboozled, and they know it, and there's not much they can do. So, save going to come in. TYLOO move up to 8. I think, as you so rightly noted at the start of this round, they too recognize that if they fully lose this one and, you know, don't have any weapons, they are looking at a 9-3 half at best. So, got to eco this one out and battle for that 8-4.
Yeah, that's brutal. At least they keep those 3 players alive, but that's such an unlucky timing that comes down to. You can see the 2 exact moments that Lynn Vision lost that round. Obviously, Zaka getting caught out. That really sucked out towards Ivy, but that 1 kill from JamYoung causes everyone to scramble, and it's not really Amelia's fault. He was playing a really nice angle. He got a really good information play. I think he did everything right. He even hit the headshot first. He just had the lesser weaponry, unfortunately for him.
All right, let's see. Can Lynn Vision turn that save into just a couple more rounds to soften the blow going into half number 2? Or are we looking at a 10-2 half? Potentially. Mercury got to be careful here. Somehow Westmelon won that one out. It looked like a good spray down to me. Nade is beautiful. Gonna catch him running away. So, not the best look. 5 versus 3, straight out of the gate. Love that from Lynn Vision, though. A bit of proactivity.
Yeah, both times that they've gone for this kind of crunch play, it's worked out really well. So it's good to see them finding success on it on the second time as well. The gap is towards Ivy, but you can see that is being acknowledged. And with Attacker going down in main, it is one-dimensional. She maybe can inflict some damage, but no, misses the chance. Zaka wide swings, upgrades to the AWP. In fact, he might just get drop 1, gets an AK for his teammates, so they've got everything they need into this final round, but the most that they can hope for is 4. Which still feels like it's not going to be enough, but it's a start for something.
Just a bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, definitely gonna give them some confidence. Not necessarily fill them with confidence, but I think they managed to win a round. Now, the difficulty is, for me, is that, you know, it's such a one-sided affair for so long. Some kind of aggression, it's maybe not going to be expected. You know, that's why you go for it. You take that big risk, and I think TYLOO get caught off by that concept. So whether that happens in this round, I'm not so sure, but it works. It works. A well-placed flash, slightly different timing on the aggression, slightly different method with just one player going for it. So Lynn Vision showing they do have some mix-ups here.
Beautiful way to get that opening kill. TYLOO are grouped in towards B hole, so it does look like they are going to go for the B finish. Still 2 defenders here, Westmelon and Amelia. Both with disruptive utility as well, an incendiary and a Molotov. So these flashbangs need to be perfect. Lurk smoke gets dropped. Well-timed Molly, here comes the hit. Forcing the way through, yeah, Attacker straight through the flames, into the bullets, and will be brought down. Mosaic will get 1 kill. Amelia has to fall down, but now the rotations coming through from Konji. Hits the shot, JamYoung hits his, and despite the advantage early, despite defenders on site, and despite the fast rotation, TYLOO have successfully broken through into B. And now they look to push that advantage. JamYoung is on fire. And with the rest of the squad chiming in, TYLOO dominate the T side 9-3. TYLOO with a massive lead coming into the second half. They were in a position to potentially close this into. Envision force that third map, force the decider. Now they have to do it the hard way. 3 rounds going to the T side, and Mercury has taken the fight to them. Flash forward by G and has Attacker by his side. So if you decide to push further through, there are 2 sets of dual Berettas. This entire setup for TYLOO has been based around getting these dualies in play.
Yeah, the B play from Lynn Vision, I think, successfully thwarted here. Flash comes in. They do take the player, okay, down below. They also get the one nice and close who maybe should have capitalized on his teammate distracting away. So I would say from good to bad here. Still, they're ready for a B hit. G, nice and close to the action with that USP, looking for some more clean headshots. Not going to get them. And they do fall flat. I mean, look very good for TYLOO. I'm not going to lie. They get the first kill. They have that set up, but they can't convert. And Lynn Vision will get the pistol.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, considering how good that started for TYLOO. Really nice setup with the flashbang to get the opener, and then it looked like a really good crossfire. Everything was in position. Lynn Vision a bit of patience, and then when they pounce, it's with ferocity. Just around goes their way. TYLOO did not get anywhere near enough kills to entice a force by you feel. Although we'll see if that consideration comes through, because we have seen the proclivity for both these teams to fully invest, even if they are on the back foot.
It is true.
Feels unlikely.
Yeah, but a lot of rounds to play with. Sort of unexpected move. I think the force buy is starting to creep back in a little. To be fair, we had a good long period of no force buys, especially on the CT side. Get the M4s out as soon as possible. Then the M4 maybe a little bit nerfed since then, you could argue. It does depend. I think teams tend to have a philosophy of like, right, are we a force buying team or are we an ecoing team? And they just kind of stick to that. You know, there's not much deviation from what they prefer to do, I suppose.
That clock's not moving either. Unlucky. Hopefully not too long of a pause here, guys, so we can get back into the action. Reminder of what's at stake. This is the upper bracket, so winner of this goes straight through to the grand final of ECL Asia Pacific. And the winner of the grand final, of course, gets a spot at Pro League. That's the big ticket item that everyone's fighting for. And if you go into that grand final from the upper bracket, you do start with a 1-map advantage going into that best of 5. So it's a huge boon going into such a prolonged series. If you go down to lower bracket, it is the Huns waiting for you. They won out earlier today versus Chinga's Warriors. That'll be taking place tomorrow morning, that lower bracket game. I suppose if you're joining us from the Asia Pacific region, it's probably the afternoon. Tomorrow, regardless.
Yes. Would be nice, but, you know, we have got to get up bright and early. I don't know. It wasn't too bad, I'm not going to lie. And we get up with the sun this time of year, which I think is
that's true.
A lot easier. So
5:30 a.m. is a lot nicer when you can actually see outside.
Yes. Yes, it's not like dark and gloomy and, you know, confuses your mind. Nice pickup from Attacker. Yeah, I mean, they're often a bit feisty, the P2K users. Never underestimate them. Mosea gets cheeky for the gun and it will cost him his life. So I think the structure, any structure that TYLOO had in this round is now going to unfurl.
Yeah, Mercury spotted. G dealt with, and a clean conversion. Just that first casualty, but that's fine. Galil gets picked up. Still a long way to go for Lynn Vision, but this was the start of the necessary path. Now in the first gun round, and we've got a conversation going.
Yeah, very true. Gap can close exponentially here, so TYLOO, I think, going to have to put something into this round, you know, and I think have an original idea rather than just playing the regular setup. 4 towards A, aggression on B. I suppose that is a slight cook. Attacker making a lot of noise there. Amelia will get in behind that smoke, and it's a 1-for-1, but always good for the T side to get an early kill like that.
I don't think Attacker was aware that anyone could be that close, but Sandwich Smoke gives that space to work with. And Vision completely disengaged after this initial foray. Looks like they might want to re-aggress in towards main. Now, you've still got 3 defenders on this side of the map. 2 push in towards Pop Dog, so that's information gathered. Komisu doesn't push any further. He's just going to stay present. Now the fight comes in towards main. Zaka, utility in hand, almost gets caught off. Mercury falls back. Now Starry charging out, looking for the pre-fire, but it's Zaka that gets the kill. Starry does fall. Mercury taking down 2. Mac 10 activates, and he hits the instant flicker. Needed that headshot, and Westmoreland gets his too. Brilliant little wrap onto the A bomb site. Even kills initially, but Call Me Sue with the Mac 10 is the one that makes the difference.
Yeah, I mean, really not sure about how far forward TYLOO were playing so late into the round. I think it just is inevitable that they're going to get caught, inevitable that they're going to get overwhelmed. So I don't know if I'm a big fan of that kind of idea. And it does end up costing them. So Lynn Vision, to be fair, it is close, but they still managed to get the round there. TYLOO now within reaching distance, and I think that TYLOO are going to be very, very worried about this one. Turn of the half felt like this was a done deal, but now we're back on.
Now it comes down to fine margins. Mercury has a little moment. He's been a lot quieter on this map after a very dominant first 2 maps. TYLOO have got a stack over at B. And it looked like maybe there were going to be a couple of players drifting over here, but Komisu starts to move backwards. He might get caught off here, but will still take down 2. Oh, and well, JamYoung's Deagle not quite connecting, unfortunately. Komisu actually takes down all 4. So that's kind of absurd. They tried to crunch on him, but he has much sharper teeth.
Yeah, just farming. I mean, as we talked about at the top of the series, this is the guy that was added in February. I'd say a lesser known element within the Asian region. Bit of history there, been away for a few years, studying and whatnot. And I suppose working on his game.
Yeah, nice.
With those Americans. So,
not bad.
Yeah, I think it sums up what he's been able to do for the Lynn Vision team over the past few months. That ace, make it look easy.
Yeah, it was just, I guess, an eco ace, but still. Was being crunched on from every which direction. JamYoung made a little meal of it, unfortunately, but you can forgive him. It was just that one pistol. TYLOO get another chance with the guns, and it's straight out from Amelia. They just send Amelia in onto A every round, it feels, and then they're like, all right, depending on what you do, if you get the kills on A, we'll come pop. If you don't, well, I guess we'll give B a go. JamYoung lies in wait. Mosea is spotting out. This is all just to kind of bait in JamYoung. Flashbang over. JamYoung, when does he activate? Comes out now, but he's lost some support. Doesn't feel comfortable swinging again, and with that smoke landing, further rotations being removed. JamYoung hits the deck. Mercury will find one back, keeping it in a 2-on-2, but keep your eyes on Starry. He's walking close, and they have no idea, but he misses that chance. We're into the 1-on-1. Orp v Orp. G. We'll sit back. Zaka hasn't planted the bomb yet. We'll start to put it down. He has a good read on this position. Both players climbing up the trains, trying to spot each other, looking for that information play. G eats that flashbang, not afraid of it, can't hit the flick up. Zaka will win it out, and Lynn Vision bring us within one.
Craziness, absolute craziness. I mean, felt like having a player in towards heaven would work, but they just go for a wild, in the moment call, and that was to push in through the connector smoke and try and catch them off guard. They do just that. Really well played by Lynn Vision. Super quick and simple calls it feels like they are going for, but they're working really well, and now TYLOO left in another low buy situation. So yeah, this is feeling very much like Lynn Vision are in control of this one, I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, this has been a lights out second half. Nothing at all to offer up. For a map that has been so CT-sided, it's crazy that it's the T-sides that are running away with this. But again, when you think contextually of the teams that we've got here, maybe it's not so surprising. TYLOO are finding kills, but the damage is minimal at this stage. Saka has almost 5 figures. Yeah, let's get caught off by G. So it suddenly does get a little interesting. G can maybe recover that AK and start to move down, but his teammate is very far away from him, and the clock is ticking. Starry needs this kill, otherwise we do start to get concerned. We'll disengage, try and play the clock, and the kill comes through, needs to be instant. Oh, the molly comes in. Saka needs to charge through this. The bomb's being stuck. It's the full 10-second, but the coverage isn't there. The coverage isn't there, and the time might not have been anyway. But they make that round doable.
Those are the rounds that break a team's back. Absolutely unreal. Just in all senses, to be honest, to bring it back in. The timing of Mosea, he did have the time to get the shots, but he didn't quite land them. And when he did, it was too late. So, just small margins making all the difference. Really, really insane stuff. But 9-9, Lynn Vision has yet to drop a T round. This is really, really great stuff from them.
Yeah, insane, really. But G gets active early. We'll find that first pick in towards Pop Dog. Always where you're expecting to face an AWP early. Can be a tricky spot to get just the space to, especially with Amelia running out main so many rounds. So TYLOO with an advantage early, which has been a rarity for them on their CT side. Affords them an extra player over on B, which is where G will post up. Komisu, if he goes around to get information out from upper B, he could be in trouble. That AWP is holding a fine line. In fact, if it's the B finish, which these rounds more often than not have been, that could end up being very tricky for Lynn Vision to break through.
Would be a hell of a time to respond after everything that's happened so far in this second half. A nice early opener, exactly what the doctor ordered. G committing to his spot here. Will drop down, got JamYoung in support. The rotations, of course, flying in. Every kill, oh, gonna be golden. That was close, if you ask me, but not quite enough. The bomb takes a fight and will be dropped in an awkward spot. Saka trying to win things out here. Can't quite land the shots. He will eventually, but he is not ready for JamYoung to have closed the gap, who will absolutely not miss the opportunity. TYLOO, as soon as they lose the lead, will gain it back.
Yeah, it did look like a pretty good hit into that B bomb site. The flashbangs were brilliant. You can see both players were blinded. They had to fall down. It looked really awkward back at oil there, but G hits a big kill that gives them that space. Rotations come through quickly. Attacker helps out, and then JamYoung delivering on all fronts. So they do capitalize off that opening kill that they were able to pick up. And all that damage that happened in the round 2 prior with the pistols actually is having some impact into this one. I don't think it will be too damaging. Saka can drop Westmelon, but it does mean that Starry, Komisu might be a little wanting. So despite a flawless T-half until this moment, TYLOO win this round, suddenly they're in pole position to take this map and take the entire series.
Yeah, very scary prospect, especially after all the work that has been done to get us to this point. By both of these teams, in all fairness, but it does feel like Lynn Vision have just had a bit more to do, you know. They've been down quite a number of times. Big nades into main, nobody there. Smoke gives them pretty good control, so Amelia will make sure there's no pushing coming in, but this is a pretty nice spot for TYLOO to be in.
Yeah, this fight out towards Ivy is what I'm most interested in. So yeah, she's going to drop some utility, and despite two players starting there early for Lynn Vision, they will fall back. They've got this control in towards Pop. The bomb is here as well. So it looks like they're going to keep this one simple. Split onto this A-bomb site. No one coming out Ivy is the interesting part. They're not going to have a lurk that comes late there. So they are just going to focus on these players in towards Pop Dog. So here comes that first set of utility. G is on the line, sees the shadow, doesn't fall for the bait. They spot him out, so when does the swing come? A jump over, and he'll actually try and go for that shot. Hits the leg, but Call Me Sue swings on out. G feeling the pressure run down. The Tech 9's overwhelming, but Mercury arrives, but only for a moment. A double up in from Con. JamYoung drops the bomb. He knows it's in front of him. He's just going to pause. Waiting to see if Lynn Vision make that mistake. The smoke lands in his face. Does he dare walk through? Thinks about it, decides not to push the issue. Amelia scoops up that bomb. A tap on it, a complete committal as well. JamYoung does not throw the HE4. That would be enough to remove Amelia. If Amelia walks this, that could set up the 1v1. There's that kill. All onto Zaka, in towards Pop Dog. JamYoung has the read, gets on up, it's the leg shot. Brought down to low HP, the swing with the pistol. It's a Glock to the face to get double digits.
Well, well, well. We are not done just yet. Probably the most important round of the series thus far for Lynn Vision will go their way. So damn good. So damn good. And I mean, just keeping the action coming. It feels like this has got overtime written all over it, but I do have a feeling here that it could be heartbreak once again for one of these teams. Always the lower bracket, I suppose, but you want that map in hand. You know, it really does give you a good solid leg up into that grand final for that Pro League spot. So we'll see here. Buys from both sides. Not ideal. A much needed swing round.
What a map Call Me Sue has had. 21 kills. Alright, that smoke is going to tell you a lot about the sort of positioning of the CTs. But with a pick out towards Ivy, Zaka gets the opening frag. That's going to leave a lot of holes in this defense over on A. Mercury has to concede Pop Dog space. Attacker falls back into hell. Yeah, you're going to have to start to bring some players over to deal with this possibility. A lurk smoke dropped causes concern. It's going to put a lot of eyes in towards Ivy.
I don't know that Lynn Vision will necessarily be expecting all that attention over there, to be honest. And you can see TYLOO man down making some very aggressive decisions. Nothing towards Ivy. Right, let's move towards B, even before anything is really heard. And they are committing. They've got one pair of eyes on A. He does hear a lot rolling in. It looks like they're going to abandon B. Surely that's being heard. So this is kind of wild. JamYoung will go down against the lurk. If the bomb gets dropped in good time, only 10 seconds to get the plant in. And yeah, it will be round over. Oh, I don't know, Lynn Vision. I don't know. We're so far into the B idea. Just go with that. But they panic. They doubt themselves. And the indecisiveness will cost them.
Yeah, so they have the player advantage there, and because of that, they send a player searching right on the A bomb side just so that they don't walk into the stack. That's their biggest concern. Don't walk into the stack this round. Starry gets all that control. He's got full Ivy. There's no one in hell. They've got back red. Two players are that deep into A site. You think, okay, they have gambled B. And that was correct. That was the situation. But the rotation comes quickly enough at Con that as they try and filter out through Pop Dog, they just get eaten alive. And Starry wasn't expecting a player back train on the default bomb. And so, yeah, that's a little fumble from Lynn Vision after they get the opening kill. They concede the round, doubting themselves, or at least tricking themselves into a false sense of security that A had space.
All right. Let's see. Backs up against the wall. Can Lynn Vision survive? Can they stay in this? Again, as has been the case quite a bit, a must-win round. G trained in. Flash not good, but the shot is. That's a double dink as well coming round from Starry, so see you later. Big kill to find. Zaka gets his AWP in hand. There's a track through the smoke here as Mercury taking a risk to try and recover the round back. They will all converge in towards the icon here. 2 kills come in. Bomb, I think, briefly hits the deck there. The nade to find Westmelon. It's not its intention, but it works quite nicely. And here we have an advantage as well as the bomb being spilled in favor of TYLOO. But before I get the words out, it's been picked up. So they don't quite have that control anymore.
Yeah, the problem is they're a little worried about where these other players are. They have 2 confirmed over at Ivy. The bomb's planted. Mosaic has repositioned. And might be able to catch a little timing here. Depends whether he can cross safely. Because Amelia is at back red. Just has to move forward, but so does Call Me Sue. A chance here, and he'll find that shot, but Mosaic then gets that trade. Amelia spotted out. You now have the information on this final player. Can't converse against JamYoung. Again, a situation where Lynn Vision get a really nice opening kill. That was the AWP removed. But TYLOO's response is everything here. They just converge, you say, upon this position. They don't allow Lynn Vision to exploit this opportunity. And I love the little push through the smoke from Mercury to just be able to flank timing onto Starry. And I think that was just Lynn Vision were a little worried. They didn't realize that many players had moved back towards through CT. So they were thinking there was still more defenders coming on A, that there was going to be a player that swung out con, out pop that could disrupt them. So they were really slow about actually progressing into the A bomb site there. That's why the AWPer pauses, holding that bomb. Gets a bit unlucky there with the HE to clear the smoke, ending up removing him. But it looked a little silly because, you know, when you look at that minimap, you're like, why aren't we committing to A? You know, the bomb site's completely open, but just not anticipating that many players moving through CT.
Yeah, I mean, way to pull it out, you know, when it really matters and when they just have the weight of the world on their shoulders. Really solid stuff from TYLOO. They are set to kind of defy a lot of expectations here. I think Lynn Vision have had the upper hand in this matchup. They're on a 19-win streak at the moment, and they are yet to lose a train where TYLOO have been sort of struggling, right? The sample sizes are very small, but it seems that TYLOO may well have turned that narrative around. Sort of a split crop of talent here at ECL as well. Not as many believers in TYLOO as compared to Lynn Vision. And, well, we'll see. We'll see. There's, of course, still potential. Lower bracket, then the grand final, right? Lynn Vision could indeed run it back, but yeah, if this series is anything to go off, I think the potential of that is actually quite high because of how close this has been. But all the same, TYLOO going to do it here and now, and maybe, just maybe, get that one map advantage.
It's the best opportunity they have. 1 Galil, 4 pistols. They're going to pounce onto B. Try and overwhelm. The util set is here. A lot of flashbangs in play. How well can G and JamYoung hold? They're going to see the smokes coming forward. No immediate follow through, and G's line isn't disrupted, so he gets that first kill with ease. No concern at all. Was that a missed smoke or what? Because he has an open line to keep fighting forward. Finally, kills come back for the T side, and they come in spades. Mercury will get one back. Looking for more, maybe an overextension here. The bomb is committed. And Zaka finds that kill. It's on to Attacker. Over the top, trying to drop the bomb, but Zaka from below will double down. Lynn Vision, despite the lesser weaponry, will break through.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. You know, it has to be a failed smoke. I'm not really sure what it's intended to do. To be honest, if it isn't, you know. So, the fact that that happens, the lesser weaponry, it's a very predictable hit into that B-bomb site, and yet they make it work, relentlessly pushing forwards to try and find those kills, which is a bit of a B-site classic on Train. So now, TYLOO, they're the ones backs up against the wall. They do have the safety net of overtime, but 4 MP9s and a scout to stop that from happening is, well, maybe not the weaponry you would wish for.
It doesn't feel great, does it? And for Lynn Vision, they're taking this one very slow. They've had a lot of success getting opening picks over towards Ivy, so that is where they're going to put a whole lot of pressure early. Zaka's just waiting, and he's rewarded. That's exactly what he was looking for, and he's doubled down. Lynn Vision, 3 kills from securing overtime. A push forward, the MP9 will get that kill. Looking for more, but West Melon, that is a fast shot. G will arrive, but he just has a scout in hand. Westmelon just runs away. Because look at Call Me So, he's just walking through the back lines. Oh, he's walked all the way through B. Surely catches JamYoung here. Yeah, no idea. Overtime is most definitely coming our way. Good shot. But now his position is known. Vision shouldn't be slipping up here. And in fact, Zaka, still in Ivy, will convert it. We go overtime.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, just so unbelievable, I think it is safe to say. Definitely should have converted things against that lower buy. Not a guarantee, but, you know, any kind of team worth their salt should be getting that. But that is the nature of the game. That is indeed how Counter-Strike goes from time to time. So they'll probably be a little happy to be here in a sense. Economy's reset. Don't have to worry about that so much. And, you know, less pressure to finish the game. Sometimes it can be nice, you know, just let the air out, so to speak, and take a few deep breaths.
Cheeky little angle for JamYoung, but Call Me Sue doesn't fall for that one. And now you look to accelerate, surely. Just group and finish. It's G here, and look at the position he's playing with the AWP. Oh, this does not feel good. But if they slow down, if they take their time with it, maybe G has a chance to be disruptive. No, we'll get removed by Starry. And then the swing out, yeah, nothing you can do. Peeking into 4 players looking at you. Then Vision to take the first round in OT.
Damn, I mean, riding on a high after getting here, you know, you can see it in the Counter-Strike, and TYLOO sort of the opposite of that. They have lost a bit of their identity. Really, really not looking good if they cannot find it within themselves to bounce back, which is a lot to ask. You know, you don't even get like the break at overtime anymore. It's just straight into it. So endless Counter-Strike is what it feels like, especially third map of a long series like this. We started 10:30, 3 hours ago now. So it's a long old game. think it's the one aspect of being a pro player that I'd potentially struggle with, you know? I'm usually like, play a couple games, and then I definitely need a break, regardless of if I'm winning or not. You know, I'm going to do something else for half an hour, 45 minutes at the very least, you know?
Yeah, starting to get to the depths when you get this deep in. But with what's on the line, you wouldn't want it any other way. It's been a very close series, every single map. So, of course, OT feels exactly what this series deserves. Amelia looking again to get aggressive in towards main, tries to get ahead of the utility, but JamYoung has found an opening kill. And Amelia spotted, dealt with, attacker, good adjustment onto the second. So fast play into main does not work out, and he does not slow down. Wants to walk around this smoke. Zucker is on the other side. Probably feeling a little uncomfortable with the AWP, and yeah, it's actually a flying through Ivy that removes him. So TYLOO answer back in kind.
Oh, all right. Call me Sue with the double spray down. It doesn't really net very much for the round or indeed the game itself, but yeah, he'll take that. I mean, I don't know. This is, again, just classic overtime Counter-Strike. Very messy, very scrappy, and I think impatience growing between these two teams. So, Lynn Vision momentum is stopped dead. If they find that, I'm fairly confident that they can just take it over the line by sheer will. But, yeah, TYLOO able to just steal all that momentum.
Has been a map of T halves, so you're looking for two, ideally, on this T side of OT. JamYoung just hanging out in this smoke at the end of holes. Seeing if anyone's going to push through it, but they don't. Wonder if you'll get a flashbang set up. There are 3 players over on B, so you feel like on a timing they do want to get this information. Because otherwise, if it becomes that A hit, you'll be feeling the pressure. Saka does feel a bit of that himself. But no, they decide not to. They're just going to rotate late. They don't get any contact, so they're going to move their pieces around. They will have Mercury here at the right time.
Maybe? Yeah, he's sticking around. Oh, smoke. We're getting teased here. We're getting teased. Quite a well-timed smoke, actually. Very late into the round, of course. Still got one left on G, but that's on the B-bomb site, so they don't have solid information that it's going to be this A crunch, but my goodness, it will be, and it's coming very scarily late. We've seen a couple rounds like this from the Lynn Vision T side where they, you know, let the bomb spill in an awkward spot. Not the best of peaks from Mercury, but his teammates will seemingly clean up house, and it's all on JamYoung on the bomb train to just be this last line of defense, and he's really trying to sell that. Mosaic will be the one to hold on. The 4K overall from him gives TYLOO number 14 that slight edge moving into the second half of the OT.
Yeah, and I think 2 rounds on that CT side feels pretty good, I would say, if you are TYLOO. Given how strong your T side felt, even if it was a while away at this stage, so they did most of their best work. So TYLOO back into the lead. This one's on a knife's edge. Zucker has really come alive in that second half with the AWP, so hoping that translates into a bit more success on the CT side as well.
Fingers crossed. Call me Sue up close. Everybody's so very blind. My goodness, he survives way longer than expected. TYLOO with a simple A burst. Take it back to basics. And my God, it works brilliantly. That is just fantastic. There's not much else to say about it. You know, keep it simple. And sometimes that is the best way to win a round.
I think Attacker absolutely loves those A hits. Like, he just gets to scale through, and his pathing is down to a T. I think every time we've seen them just go for a straight A play out the gate, he's getting a multi-kill. So, series point again for TYLOO. 2 chances to close this out and lock in that grand final appearance. She takes the peek. Smoke will land in his face. So again, Lynn Vision do a good job of taking control. At least to get things started. We stop behind it to see if she can find anything, and Westmelon might get caught out here. Yeah, just about sees him. Lovely way to get that opening kill.
Okay, TYLOO's opportunity to not mess this up. Take the series and lock in that grand final spot. And I think they know that. And they get the first kill, immediately draw back, and everyone's been walking ever since, you know, not giving any information away. Very, very tentative. There's the thickness of the air starting to get very real indeed. Small spot. It's a scary move. Call Me Sue, though, not really sold. He's going to check back in a moment, and there's going to be 3 players ready to drop him. He will get one. Can he get any more? Yes, he can. Oh, no. They have maybe let this slip as Call Me Sue from Ivy has held like his life depends on it. JamYoung stands alone after an early pickup and what seemed to be a very, very winnable round. And it is footsteps that make all the difference. I mean, I was calling Call Me Sue to walk back in. I don't think he was going to do it, but he heard a couple of footsteps, and that drew his attention back to Ivy, and he saves the day for Lynn Vision.
Absurd. Absolute absurdity. A moment of brilliance. It comes down to those final moments, and Call Me Sue, not even the primary AWPer on this team, rocking the secondary, gets a quad kill off the back of it. It has been his map, and him to have a big moment here to keep Lynn Vision in this series is everything. A chance for double OT.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to do that again. It's the problem now. So how do you replicate that kind of a moment? And generally speaking, the answer is you can't. So going to need a more conventional round win here to take it to another OT. And yeah, I mean, surely Call Me Sue's like, right, I've done my job, you know. The old guy comes in for one last fight, and now it's up to the young bucks to get this done.
TYLOO played the last round very slow, and a similar approach this time. Yeah, lurk smoke, that's a good way to deal with Call Me Sue. Drop the smoke, leave him be. He's a menace. Starry just waiting to drop that smoke in response, and spam, wow. Almost takes him clean out. Flashbangs come over, and he gets shot in the back of the head. Westmelon, though, will get that trade. Remember, players are low on this T side. Westmelon, almost gets spammed down just by the Tech 9, but that's when Call Me Sue and Zaka will chime in. Scriv, I think the double OT is assured at this stage. This double AWP setup on the CT side proving to be unbreakable for TYLOO. 15 seconds left. They start to accelerate forward. Westmelon gets the kill. That's the round. That's the round right there. Westmelon confirms it. We have to run it back again. Double OT.
Man alive. I mean, listen, I think it is a series and a game and a storyline for these two teams deserving of a final map like this. Goodness me. I mean, what a moment from Call Me Sue, though. We have to go back to that. Back up against it. Cannot afford to miss a shot, you know, millimeters off, and it feels like the game goes the way of TYLOO. If it was just one and a trade, then yeah, I think it really opens the door to the victory. And TYLOO will be reeling in that. Not a nice feeling at all. And they now have to, you know, again, keep playing. And this is the toughness of an overtime. It just feels like it's never ending. Oh. He's going to get it. He will. Call Me Sue on that secondary AWP has taken over the game, and you can see Lynn Vision, their confidence just at an all-time high. Still very doable here. Will be Mercury in the 1 versus 3 up against the double AWP. Set up. Oh, the wild shot from Zaka, but he still gets the no-scope up close. What is happening?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, these AWPs are such a pain, and TYLOO just don't seem to know how to respond to it. Call Me Sue, this time for the very first time in OOT round 1, pushes Ivy. Doesn't get that contest early, so goes, yeah, why not? Finds the player jumping with all the utility, so that also helps disrupt this hit. Almost a way to recover it there for TYLOO. There was a real chance. When Call Me Sue's AWP isn't there, it's Zaka's that answers. And Attacker looks to get aggressive, but undone by Westmelon. G sitting in the back of main. Does Starry push this any further? G is anticipating this could happen. He has to scamper away.
Oh,
Starry's in hot pursuit.
so aware.
Oh my god, he's going to push around. He drops the bomb.
Oh my god.
And he doesn't
my
slow down.
god.
Okay, he'll be forced to slow down, but the damage is done.
That is so ridiculous. He's watching it like the whole time. The follow-up smoke as well kind of sells the idea that the CTs are not that bothered about main, you know, just smoke it off and forget about it for now. But he was still watching, and then he just looks away as he got to that corner. Absolutely ridiculous timing from Starry, and yeah, it is TYLOO in this camp of just being unable to catch a break. The AWPs are running rampant right now. Just always ever present in these rounds, and it's all JamYoung with a drop bomb. No friends, and no kills to speak of. 17. Lynn Vision potentially looking at an 18-15 scoreline here, which would be so damn good.
Yeah, I think it's time to just stop going A. You know, Call Me Sue is just too potent. And when he's not getting all the kills out from that Ivy side, it's Westmelon up close to main. It just feels like everything is going Lynn Vision's way. But it is going to be another default. Again, Mercury gets out aggressive, flashed immediately. Starry has no trouble dealing with him, and there was no support. Nothing to help him out. Fully blinded. He doesn't even really get a chance to see his opponent. Starry accidentally fumbles the jump, but won't be punished for it. A 4-on-5 to just get one round on the CT half.
Yeah, it's really going from bad to worse for TYLOO. JamYoung splits the difference, doesn't land a single bullet. I'm pretty sure maybe one through the corner onto West, but, you know, nothing substantial at all. Quick trade leaves G and Mosaic against 4. Bomb location is revealed here. AWPs again proved to be a massive problem. Westmelon spotted behind D-Box, but he's just a distraction and takes the peak himself eventually. 18-15, looking good for Lynn Vision, but this is CS. It is not over until it's over.
Yeah, talk about kicking up a gear, though. Off the back of that OT, Call Me Sue is now, what, 12 kills above the next player on TYLOO. Westmelon, 26, Zaka, 30. Everyone's really contributing at the top end. TYLOO saw the success that Lynn Vision had with the double AWP, and so they decided to do the same. We'll see if G can have that impact. Hasn't felt like his AWP has really been anywhere near as prevalent as either Call Me Sue's or Zaka's.
Yes, no, that is very true. But we'll see. You know, just copy your opponent, I guess. They found a lot of success with it, so you might be able to do the same. Mosaic looking to lock down Ivy, and I think he might see some action coming his way. Let's see how his secondary AWP looks. Oh. The primary AWP has been flattened. Holy hell, Lynn Vision right there, right on the horizon of taking this series from the jaws of defeat. TYLOO will be kicking themselves. Honestly, absolutely wild. I mean, not once but twice they potentially could have closed this out. And Lynn Vision are set for 19 and that grand final spot.
Outrageous first kill. If they just commit into B, there's not really anything JamYoung can do. All he has the HE, flashbangs. So he'll just play a little bit delay, but he can't stop anything. He can't block with anything that he has. So execute, comes now into the B bomb site. Mercury starts to rotate. Similar situation with his utility. It's lacking. And so Lynn Vision bursts through, begin to scale, taking that space deep, looking to get full control of this bomb site. And they're overwhelming. Oh, they're overwhelming and then some. Mosea and Attacker, the only one still standing, and it is Desperation Stations. Lynn Vision have kicked it up a gear in this double OT, and they have taken it cleanly, 19-15. It took every single map, every single round, but Lynn Vision go directly through to the grand final.
I did say it was going to end in heartbreak, and it really, really does. TYLOO, after the Call Me Sue 4K